everybody.
I think we are live.
Hi, cats that are sitting over there. We are good. Yay! Alrighty, so today is Thursday, the 27th of September. I know that because I looked it up right before I started this. Also know it because we have to leave in a short number of hours for Kansas City. So we'll only be here until about 7 today, so about maybe 3 hours for this broadcast, because I have to get to Kansas City to do the Kansas City Renaissance Festival this weekend.
Yes.
So I might be seeing some of you guys there, possibly. I don't know if Tammy's here. I'll probably see her. Unless she's in Florida now.
Tammy just said hello.
Oh, well, hi Tammy. See, I can't even see
Phyllis,
the screen
Julie,
from here, so I'm psychic.
Aileen Wild, Make My Clay, Girl in the Mitten, Mimi Tran, me. I guess I say hello to myself.
Oh, yeah.
Melody,
Nancy
Tammy,
Beckett's here.
Julie,
Yeah.
Philippa, and Tammy again.
Yay!
And I will see Tammy.
Excellent.
I'll be the one sword fighting with children.
Probably. Willow can do some really great death scenes if you do mock sword fights with her.
Minor acrobatics.
In minor acrobatics, yeah.
Very minor.
Very,
We're talking
very minor.
somersaults.
At best, yeah.
So, can everybody hear us okay?
Hopefully, yeah. There's no weird buzzing noises or annoying noises other than me talking and our classical music. Let me see. This is actually, you're seeing the very, very, very early stages of this painting here. It's the first time I showed it here on Twitch because I just started it about 45 minutes ago.
Jasmine?
So far, so good. Yeah.
Before we start, we have the various. Actually, I'll go ahead and start.
What's that one?
We have the various raffles
Yes.
today, and we
Yes,
have
we
a
do.
bunch of things. I know we always say this, but it's true.
Yes.
We have a ton of things to show everybody.
We always have lots of. We always have lots
just-
of things to show people. Yeah.
So what we do before is we try to get these items handy, and I just kept bringing them. I was like, wow, am I forgetting anything? And often I was.
Stuff, yeah.
But
I feel like I should
have
have
a ton of
another
things to-
camera that just shows all like the new stuff that came out this week because we've had a busy time of it lately.
Yes. So where would you like to start with that, Jasmine?
Oh golly! Well, have you made the Moo raffle go?
I've made the Moo raffle.
Whatever.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
For those of you who are
Some
new
people
in the
might
room,
be new here, so we do giveaways, and you have to type in a certain command.
yes,
and what is it,
I
Manny?
will demonstrate.
Matt will type it. It has to type just like that because it's actually a computer program that chooses the raffle. So if you type it halfway or spell it wrong, the computer robot thing won't notice it. So you gotta do it
Okay,
exactly
so
right.
one of my people that did not respond to me last week
yes.
just responded to me. So thank you.
Excellent!
You
Yay!
won, yes, Kitten BZ. You won a raffle from last week. I'm so happy you responded.
Yay! Yes.
See, I think I knew who you were, but I didn't want to second guess myself, so I just sent a.
Yeah, and we
Twitch
don't
message.
typically tell people's names out loud if we don't know your name.
No,
in
because
real
some
life,
people
because
don't
some people are
mind
here
it.
to be private, and
Right.
sometimes we get celebrities in here, and they don't want their names out there, so we're private about it.
I'm not the celebrity.
Not, I mean, like cool celebrity. Not that we're not cool, but you know, you guys know who you are. So yeah, set up the raffle, and I can before I start talking about my painting, I can talk about what things we're gonna give away for the raffle.
Sure.
right?
Yeah, it's just whatever order you
A
want
lot
to do
of
it in,
these are
sweetie.
kind of themed. Again, it's getting close to being around Halloween time, so we have a lot of Halloween stuff we're doing, and I'm doing a new Dia de Muertos painting here, and I'm still working. I'll show this a little bit later. I'm almost done with her. I still have to finish painting the dragon. Other than that, I'm pretty much done, and I'll probably be working kind of half on that one and half on this one as the night progresses, because I want to make sure I have this one to a good level to bring to the Renaissance Fair this weekend, so you folks in Kansas City can watch me paint this one in person. Maybe come to the Ren Fair. But let me see. What is the first one we're giving away today, love?
We are giving away a Jack and Sally notebook.
Ah, yes, one of the notebooks, which is not surprisingly, it's a really cool item, but it is one of the items I didn't know Disney was going to make with my Jack and Sally painting, but they have made these little notebook journals, which are absolutely adorable. You can see Sally's cat, you can see Zero, Jack and Sally, and it's a nice kind of journal, perfect bound notebook.
I stole one.
Matt stole
not from the store, from Jasmine.
We actually waited in line and bought it at the store, and then Matt claimed one. But we have one here to give to you. And I will autograph it too if you like. And this will be our first giveaway. Also, too, I will sign this. I'll autograph this. Since this was one that Disney just contracted to do merchandise of, and there aren't like postcards like when I do Disney Fine Art, they don't really have prints or anything like that. But I have seen people take this notebook and just frame the front cover of it like a postcard, and it looks really good. So
I also heard that somebody actually stretched a T-shirt.
One of the shirts, yes. I think it was somebody in the Pins group posted that. They took one of the Jack and Sally shirts they bought at Disney World that has my artwork on it, and they like wrapped it around a wooden frame board like you're stretching a canvas, and it looked really good. So
Jasmine,
there are ways to make wall art out of it if you want. Yeah.
Layla's asking how we're doing.
Oh, we're
getting
good.
excited for the Ren Fair.
We are good, and we are kind of at a weird time because we are leaving.
Girl in the Mitten said we did the tank top to a canvas.
Oh, yes. Okay. I think they posted up on the either collectors group or the Pins group at Facebook.
Because you have clever fans.
I have a lot of very crafty and excited and
Julie saw
interesting people. Yes, so that's kind of a cool thing. But alternately, people are just like chopping that off, putting it in a frame, and it's like a perfect print of it. It's very nice. Or use it as a notebook. It's very cool. Anyways, somebody like an hour from now will win one.
It will be an hour from now. It's 5 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
Just 50 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carrie. She just gave us 50 bits.
Oh, thank you, Carrie.
The shirts would make an awesome T-shirt quilt, says Ritter Critter.
Yeah, they would actually. Yeah, I've seen people do all sorts of things with the shirts, and
Cass says
they're
this
really
is my
nicely
favorite
printed.
version of Jack.
Oh, I like him here because he's kind of happy here. This is kind of a nice little quiet moment between Jack and Sally.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Kitten. Kitten is who I thought it was.
Oh.
He says, I told Bob that I'm going to hold black paint over him until he emails you.
Oh, okay.
For the
okay. Well, I'll hold you to that.
Now, just FYI, Kitten, I won't be able to send that until early next week because we are leaving.
We are leaving in a matter of hours for Kansas City, so we will be back here at home in Florida at some point next week. So,
yeah, we'll be able to. We'll be doing a Twitch a week from today.
Here. I was gonna say we will be here for sure by Thursday because that's our next Twitch.
Yep.
So whenever we get back, it will be before Thursday. So
okay.
Set your timers
Julie,
now.
You probably saw people writing !raffle.
Exclamation point raffle.
And that immediately puts
that enters you into the raffle, Twitch raffle. And it's a computerized program called MoveBot that Twitch does, and they randomly pick people who have entered their names.
It's kind of weird. It takes some getting used to.
It's an old school sort of way of having a command prompt, like you're doing an old computer programming thing.
Right. It seems like something
raffle. All one word. All lowercase.
A little program a million years ago.
Yeah. Is it all uppercase
like
or lowercase?
What's that, sweetie?
Is it uppercase or lowercase? It doesn't matter.
It is exclamation lowercase raffle.
Lowercase raffle. Okay.
I think that's how it works.
I'm so used to Patreon and the things up there that are all uppercase, but okay. So exclamation point raffle. Don't put a space in there, and then the MoveBot software will know you entered the raffle.
Right.
Anyway, so this will be the first one we're giving away. Jack and Sally lovely journal notebook. Or you can cut off the front and frame it. I won't tell anybody.
Vasnan, you don't. Once you enter the raffle for each Twitch session, unless for some reason the Twitch session's interrupted, you will be in the raffle for all of our giveaways during that Twitch session.
Yeah, and usually we do like 2, 3, 4 different ones, so you should be good. It is always an issue sometimes trying to contact people who won because Twitch does not give us your email address. They don't tell us your real name. They don't tell us how to contact you. So it's good to keep an eye out. We do keep records of all these broadcasts in the archive section up at my Twitch. If you look under videos, So you can look up there, see who won. But let's see, so that's the next one. What is the one after that, love? Is that the pin set?
That is the pin set.
Okay. Okay, so
which I'm sure a lot of people in the room have.
Yeah, a lot
because
of
there's
people
so
might
many
have
pin
this
collectors.
set because
But this
is
a
a
great...
limited edition one. It's the first set I did that was like an actual limited edition pin
then
set.
suddenly you have 5
It comes
pins to
with
trade.
5, and you get 5 pins. So if you already have this one, it's kind of a good one to win because then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins that you can trade. And these are harder to get depending where you live in the world. We do have them shipping worldwide at strangeling.com. Shipping can be expensive, so if you win one, that's even better. But it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pins. You can see them on the back. All my pins have like the little double posted locking pin backs on there. And this is number 159 out of 250. I don't know how many of these we have left, but I'm guessing we'll probably run out pretty soon because it's getting to be the time of year when people like to get Halloween, All Souls, Dia de Muertos, everything sort of pins, and we'll see how many we have left. And when they're gone, they're gone. But this is a free
so
one.
Far
you
you
can
have
win.
a theme there, Jasmine.
Yes,
now,
yes,
the
we
piece
do.
you're working on there.
Yes.
Oh, am I jumping ahead?
We should talk about the
I'll
last
shut up.
raffle, and then which is also kind of themed. Also, and you know, this is kind of fun for me to pick what I'm going to give away. But this is really cool because this was donated to us by Tanya Sheets of Burning Desires. Some of you in the Pins group might know her as one of the most fun people to do trades with because she always has extra goodies. And she might be here, yeah. She runs a retail site called Burning Desires Online, or burningdesiresgifts.com, I think is the actual URL for it.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. And I have a section up there, and she is one of the very few places in the world that gets things that are from my Hamilton collection, Bradford Exchange, Ashton Drake, and my Disney projects I do with them. And she will ship them worldwide. Because usually the Hamilton collection, Bradford, they are United States. They're like in Florida and Illinois, and they pretty much ship just in the USA. But Tanya buys these and resells them with very little markup and ships them worldwide. So she donated one of my Jack figurines. This is kind of a fun, this is the first of what is a series, I think, of, oh golly, what are there, 16 of them? I don't remember. There's a bunch. Yeah.
And had the most amazing.
There's a lot of characters in that movie. What's that?
What do you call those? Stands, backdrops?
The stands and backdrops. You know, I have a little printout. I'll show that later.
Okay.
But this is the first one in it, and this is called Jack, and this is licensed and approved by Tim Burton and by the Walt Disney Company, and it is co-branded with the Jasmine Becket Griffith Strangeling Company and the Hamilton Collection Bradford Group Bradford Exchange.
Wow.
That means there was like 9 people who had to do the contract, and we all had to sign it, and it took a couple years to get it all working. But anyways, it turned out to be very cute versions of my little fairy statues that each one is hand painted in limited edition. In fact, we might be running out on some of them. This is number. I've signed the bottom of this one. It's hard to get these signed because usually they ship right from the factory. So this is one that Tanya mailed to me, and I signed it, and we're giving her away. And she's Jack, and she is the first of many in the collection. So if you don't win her, you should look at the collection anyways because these are adorable.
I think you guys came up with a really, really fantastic way to showcase both your girls and the characters from Nightmare Before
Exactly,
Christmas.
because it's like, well, they want to start with Jack, and I'm not going to paint Jack like he's a girl fairy. It doesn't make sense. I mean, we had when I've done the artwork, like for Disney, for the merchandise line, it's like I'd have Jack and I'd have Sally. For those who don't know, people, when they hire me to do different projects, they usually like me to do female figurative work with the sort of big-eyed characters that people know me from. But this way, we have my little fairies, and it's almost like they're cosplaying the characters. And then they have little dolls that they are holding. And we have done these for all of the characters in Nightmare Before Christmas. And they also have these shelves that are like sculptural. They're like a foot or 2 big, and you set them on them like it's a little castle you display them on, sort of. But here's Jack, and we're giving this one away. So that will be the last of our giveaways tonight around 7 o'clock, because that's when I have to start packing up my paintings getting my suitcase ready, making sure my TSA stuff's in order, and I am flying to Kansas City for the Renaissance Fair this weekend. So I will see some of you there. But here is, it's called Jack. Her name is not necessarily Jack because she is, you know, a fairy who is cosplaying. It's kind of like you go DragonCon and you dress up as characters, and she's doing that with Jack. We actually had somebody at DragonCon this year who cosplayed my Jack figurine. Remember that, Maddie?
Yes.
And she actually made like the little belly beads in her hair, and she had a little Jack doll, and we got a picture together. I think I might have been on Facebook, and we were holding the figurine. We got a picture out in the hallway. So those will be the 3 prizes for tonight. So yeah, a definite theme. We've got a Dia de Muertos and a Halloween kind of spooky theme because it is not quite October, but it's getting it's close enough for me for October. And what was it? I was going to show you the other ones. Now, this is kind of funny because this is actually something I got in the mail from the Hamilton collection. And,
yes, Jasmine gets her own ads.
I like this because I get my own ads in the mail. Since they are a very mass marketed company, you know, you guys see stuff in magazines or junk mail that you get. Well, it's not junk mail, it's good mail. You can keep these, they're fun posters. And the Hamilton collection, the Bradford Exchange, people like that, or just Disney, they'll stick these in. Somebody got one, they got a Disney DVD, Maddie, and they had one of these stuck in here. Just in a DVD. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's very cool.
Oh, they put one in the Chase Disney Visa things, too. They stuck them in there, so.
Wow.
Anyways, so this shows some of the other characters that you can get, and as you can tell, they have everybody. They've got Oogie Boogie and Lock, Stock, and Barrel, and they've got the mayor. And here is the set of 4 that you get. There's Jack, for example. That's one I just showed you. This is easier than me trying to find all my figurines and show you because this is nicely presented with good graphic design here. And this is what Matt's talking about when he talks about like the background shelves that you get. And they include those as like a like when you do a subscription, like let's say you wanted these 4, they come with this little shelf that is meant to be them displayed on. It's got the little curly hill with the moon, and it's got some of the symmetry, which is actually in the painting too that I did for the Jack and Sally painting. Oh, I heard a magic noise. Did somebody?
Hey, somebody said I was a monster.
Yeah.
J Sykes 7 just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you.
I was asking if anyone ever saw the monster wreath, and then somebody said I'm a monster.
Oh,
You're so mean to me.
Maybe they meant mobster.
Mobster, yes, mobster.
So there's Jack, and Sally, I think, is the second one. And Sally has a little Sally doll, and she's got Sally's dress. And Oogie Boogie has a tiny little Oogie Boogie doll. And there's Zero is the 4th one. And then, since it was so popular, we ended up coming up with different designs for ancillary characters. So we have the treehouse that Lock, Shock, and Barrel hang out in. And we did little versions of them, and even a Santa Claus one. So that's where it starts turning more Christmas than Halloween, really. And then the mayor has a little tiny mayor doll, and they have the mayor's like town hall there. It's pretty cool. Anyways, you can subscribe to them, or you can buy them individually if you like to, because Tanya up at Burning Desires has them individually. So if you only want to pick your favorites, you can order those up there. And Tanya ships worldwide. She's a retailer for the Bradford Exchange who can ship pretty much anywhere in the planet. Or you can go to Hamilton Collection if you live in America, and you can subscribe, and they will mail you one about every month, isn't it, Maddie? Approximately like once a month. They try to
do things monthly.
Yeah, so it's like you get a magazine in the mail, but instead of that, you get a little statue.
So Jasmine, what do you think, Tammy, for subscribing?
Thank you so much.
She started subscribing just before we started broadcasting.
That was probably when we were first setting this up, and I heard a magic noise, and you said it was Tammy, and I was
will thank you in person in just not many hours from now.
Yes. Yeah, not very many hours at all. Alrighty. So I can kind of segue from talking about the prizes.
That's what I was trying to do. I just didn't do it well.
No, it's good. Some people like to come here for the prizes, which is awesome. That's why we do prizes. So I like talking about that first. But I wanted to also talk about this picture I'm starting here. She's I might change some things here. This is not pencil. This is actually very, very skinny paintbrushes that I do brown and gray and white paint. And I don't know how good you can see her yet, but she's coming along so far. I'm lucky because I have the sketch design originally that I did for the statue. So this is one of the interesting times, much like the vampire Dragonling that was based on Princess of the Night, where she was a statue first. Well, she was a design first, technically, and then she was a statue. And this is a whole series of statues I have from the Dia de Muertos. I think it's called Sweet Inspirations from the Hamilton collection. And so I am looking at her and drawing her portrait. Since a lot of my characters I do with Bradford start off as paintings, I'll show you the painting first. A lot of people like asking me about this because it is a very interesting sort of way to have artwork that kind of transcends media in a way. Let me see. I think, yeah. Okay, we printed it out. Yay. I always ask Matt to print out things so I can show you guys without trying to dig around in all my prints. Okay. So I had a series called the Milagros series. Milagros are the little charms that you have. I don't know about you guys. I have a lot of family from Mexico, and you get these little charms when you're doing, when you are wanting somebody to get better. Let's say they have a hurt arm or they had a heart attack. You get a little arm charm, little heart charm, etc. Anyways, I kind of combined it with the Dia de Muertos thing with the face paint and all that. So I did these little characters here, and then the Bradford Exchange decided to do statues of them. Here's a picture of some of the statues all together. They are absolutely darling.
They are super cute.
They are some of my favorite ones.
The details on the face are beautiful.
Yes. The details on the face are really cool, like even more than usual. They always do a very good job. But this is another one that they did kind of the ink transfer on the faces, where all the little details that are like from the paintings, like on here, the painting, this is a piece of paper with a printout on them. The paintings have long since been sold, but so they took the artwork from those and they use kind of, it's not like an iron-on, but it's kind of like that, but you do it with clay or resin. So they put the little pretty makeup on there. And I'm using my character I've done before and basing her off of the pose of the little figurine. And you can still get these figurines at Tanya from Burning Desires. I think these ones might be sold out at the Bradford Exchange Hamilton collection. I don't think they're up on the website yet. The teacup versions are, which are brand new, and I'll probably talk about them later. Seems like every week I have a million new things to talk about, but anyways, this is Sweet Isabella is her name. And they kind of gave her the white face paint and the white arms. I'm going to get kind of match more the actual paintings where you can tell I kind of put more actual skin tone showing through, so you can tell she's actually, you know, from Mexico and has dark hair, and she's got purple eyes, so I might try to make her eyes purple. And she has a tiger lily in her hair. On this one here, as you can see, I think she's loosely based off of this one. She's got the little heart on her forehead. That's why I did the Milagros one with a heart. I called it Milagros Corazon because Corazon is heart, as anybody who has had like 6th grade Spanish knows.
Yes, we know a decent amount of Spanish. We have a
a lot of our
family
is a lot of them are actually born in Mexico, and then from there, a lot of our family is about 50%, 75%
I understand way more than I speak. I'm not very good at speaking.
No, I can read Spanish all day long, and I can write a little bit, but some parts of Matt's family are much more fluent than I am. But I do my best. But anyways, it's a big part of our heritage, and I like to try to share that with everybody. So we've taken my characters and the portraits, and we've done the little statues, and we are then going to do some more full-scale portraits here. That way people can have prints that go with the figurines. I've seen people in the fan groups, they'll have a print of the painting, they'll have maybe one of the faces of fairy canvas cuties, and they'll put the little statue by it, and you kind of make a little shadow box. And I just think that sort of thing's awesome because that is how I decorate my own home. So we will be painting on her somewhat, and then I'll be painting for a while too on my vampire dragonling painting, who is almost done. A big part of the reason I started the new one here is because I wanted to have a more autumn themed painting that I'm working at this weekend at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival. If you want to come by and watch me paint, I'll probably be working on her there, and I'm hoping to finish the vampire dragonling tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I've got all these statues around me. I'm trying to figure out where to put them.
M. Campbell says they kind of have a question about basically about how concept art works.
Yeah.
Did Bradford Exchange just use your paintings and create the whole butterfly design on their own? The pose and everything was designed by Bradford?
It depends on the picture. A lot of them I have poses.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is, because that is where it turns into from just like an idea I have to a thing that is a whole market research multinational licensing team that I have about 6 to 14, depending on what time of the year it is, different people who work for me as my staff at the Bradford Exchange. The Bradford group actually includes the Hamilton Collection, Ashton Drake, Bradford Press, and the Bradford Exchange. With a lot of those, what I will do is I'll have poses that I have created for them. Sometimes they have me do pencil art. I'm not a big fan of pencil art because I like to paint, so they'll usually be very rough sketches. And they will take some of those, and they're like, oh, we like this pose, we like this picture. Can we have one of the three-dimensional artists who do the actual sculpting? Well, usually they do a digital one first because they have to make sure they sell enough to pay for the injection molds because those cost like $40,000. So anyways, so they'll sometimes combine, like on this one, I think was a pose that I did for Alana and the Gargoyle, I think. Is that right, Maddie?
I don't know.
It's one where she's kind of sitting with her knees up and she's got her arms right. Yes. And I used that as a general pose, and they're like, we like the pose for that one. We like the character you created for this one, and we like the makeup you did on this one. Can we put those together and do a clay sculpture based off of those three? Then we'll do the color approvals, and then somebody at the Bradford group will come up with I won't say a fake design, but it's like a digital concept art version. I'm not good at computer stuff, so I let them do that.
No,
for the advertisements and things like that, I am like, you guys do that. I did it in Photoshop. It looked like a kid.
One thing that I think is funny, if Jasmine doesn't mind me saying, sometimes when we work with companies that are licensing, they ask for certain files or they ask for layers. Is that
yes, people
Jasmine,
say, do you have this one as a vector format? And I'm like, no, that was a painting on a piece of wood.
And people are unfortunately losing the idea of
I think I'm one of the last people who actually paint stuff like on wood first, and then has to have somebody, an interim person who is. Well,
I still know a lot of traditional.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think of all the people at One Fantastic Weekend.
And I definitely do. And there are a lot of people who combine both, and that's good for them. Those are people who are probably younger than I am and learned with computers more. But anyway, so they'll take a character of mine I've designed, then they will take a pose that is from perhaps another painting, or it could be some of the random sketches I've done for them. They'll combine the two, they'll send it to me, ask me for changes, and then from there, if it's something like the Tim Burton ones, or Nightmare Before Christmas rather, those are complicated because we also have to send them to Tim Burton's people to then tweak and change, and they all do that on computers also. And then just for the sculptures, for the paintings, I just do the painting, Disney takes it, they're done. Like for the notebooks and t-shirts. And then sometimes there is like 9 different steps in between that. And then they do a market research, and if it's something that is culturally specific, they'll have a diversity team go through it, and they'll do market research and thing there, and they'll put that out, try different parts of the country. It's a big, complicated marketing thing that I'm not really too involved with. I pretty much just do the original artwork and stuff like that.
What's a 3D puzzle?
A 3D puzzle? I don't know what a 3D puzzle is. Is it like... So, like Jenga?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Elhurt says someone posted they got a 3D puzzle
A 3D
on the
puzzle.
pinned Facebook page.
3D puzzle.
Where can I find them?
I don't know
3D
about
puzzle.
3D puzzles.
I'm not sure what a 3D puzzle is.
Wait. Let me think. They're not talking about the little diamond painting things, are they? Because somebody posted
I
one
don't
of those. Other than that, I don't know. There are 3D prints that people have done. I know the Nemesis Now company, they have created, they've taken my paintings, scanned them in, and like, not like a magic eye thing, but they kind of make like a lenticular, so you look at it and it looks like it's got a background and you kind of move your head around. They do like little keychains and things. I don't know about
That's what
3D
they're
puzzle.
talking about.
It might be. That's one of the interesting things about doing licensing worldwide too, is sometimes the terminology that one country uses, even if it's an English-speaking country, let's say it's India or it's the UK, and they have different terms in their country, even though it's all English, than America does. So sometimes I'm not the first person to figure it out. I'll put that loosely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
M. Campbell says, so, did you design the girl for Nightmare Before Christmas and then someone else did the characters, Jack, Sally, Zero, etc., or did you do all the art?
Oh, like on this one here? The ones that you see, if you just see a picture, like it's a printout or a t-shirt or something like that, I do all of that myself. That is all paintings I did on wood. I painted on a piece of wood with water and paints, and then Disney approves it, Tim Burton approves it, and just nothing has changed. That is the actual painting I did. Looks exactly like that. Nobody else is involved with that. They just have to approve that. When it's a three-dimensional sculpture, that's where things are more interesting, because it's a company that has to create a three-dimensional prototype on a computer so that Disney, Tim Burton, and myself, and Hamilton and Bradford can all approve it.
She's referring to the Bradford figurine.
Oh, the figurines. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know either.
I'm sorry. It's kind of a Jack and Sally themed broadcast here, but yeah, like with ones like this. Let's see. So,
it was a 3D print.
Oh, a 3D print. Yes, yeah. I bet those
and
are
also a puzzle.
those are probably from the UK. Paul might have those up at strangelinguk.com.
I'll link Strangeling UK.
Yes, he does a lot of those. The company Nemesis Now are the people who take paintings of mine and turn them into the Magic Eye 3D lenticular. You move the print or the keychain and it looks like it's 3D, but they're really flat. Those are cool. I've loved those since I was little.
It looks like part of the image is above your hand.
Yeah, you know those things. It's like, you seem like on bookmarks and stuff for kids, or like, I love those things. But with something like this one, for example, what I have done, this is a co-branded product, which means that Jasmine, has created the Strangeling character, which is where the Strangeling co-brand comes in. So I have done the main character here and the pose and things, pretend the little Jack things that, well, I think I'd put the balls on there, but anyways, pretend she was just a Jasmine character sitting cross-legged, and that is my involvement in the first step of it. Then the Disney people, or then Tim Burton people come through and they're like, oh, we would like to have Jack. We think if Jack was a doll, he would be about that size. His little outfit is going to be simplified.
He's got little hands.
He does, and again, this isn't supposed to be Jack Skellington himself, unlike in something like this, where I actually
almost think that
do Jack's portrait for Disney. And that's
right, Jasmine.
Yeah,
it seems like the way I think that the concept works. Is that little girl is a huge Jack Skellington fan.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Cosplaying.
She is cosplaying. I think of that. Yes. Actually, that is a term. I don't know if you remember, Maddie. The Hamilton headquarters that we go to is in Jacksonville, Florida. We go up there for brainstorming, and we meet with the staff who do a lot of the sculpting there. And we talked about doing the idea of Strangeling characters cosplaying things that are co-branded, which is why we have like the Munsters ones or the Batman ones or stuff like that, because we get the license with that company to say, hey, this is a Strangeling brand, this is Tim Burton, but it's also Disney, so we all have to have a part of it. I basically do the main character design, and they will sometimes change. Like for the wings, we had to make sure that the spiderweb designs match the spiderweb designs that are in the Nightmare Before Christmas. And the little tiny Jack Skellingtons that are on here, I knew those would be there, but those are actually designed by the people who do the co-branding designs between Tim Burton and Disney. And then after everything's complete, Disney gets a final say on these, and they change things a little bit. For a while, they talked about doing them without wings, but then Bradford thought people wouldn't think they would be strangeling enough if they didn't have wings, because people are used to my fairies with little stripy tights and, cross-leggedy. And then they sometimes do very minor things, like they want to make sure that on the bottom of these, if you read, hey, you can see I signed it already. They talk about who has created it. So I have signed my name on there, and it has the Tim Burton name on there. It has Nightmare Before Christmas, and then it has a copyright Disney at the very bottom. And it's a fine adult collectible.
I remember when Tim Burton saw not the figurine there, but the other concept. He himself.
Oh yes.
That was the quickest approval
that's
they'd
what
ever
they
seen
said.
From
Yes,
Tim
but
Burton.
that's the one the artwork I did for the Disney ones. For these ones, I said it was the first time that Tim approved something in one day.
Yeah, someone was asking if he actually sees it. And
yes, he is. Good for him. For even speaking on the limited amount of licensing I do, I can see how it would be easy for things like that to get away from you. But everything you see that is Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton has approved it. If it's legal, it's not like junky fan art or something like that. But yeah, he actually looks at it, and those are his characters. I think too that might be the reason that Disney doesn't have the fine art for the 25th anniversary. They only did it as merchandise because Tim Burton is one of their artists. If they want a new Jack and Sally painting that's like going to be on a big fancy canvas, they probably want Tim Burton to do it. So, but he likes it well enough to put it on notebooks and shirts and mugs. We gave away a mug last time.
We did.
And these are for sale at Disney now, and we'll have these at Disney World, Disneyland, and we might end up giving away some more of those later, so stay tuned. Let me see, is that all the... Oh, I'm going to show it to you. Speaking of the Tim Burton stuff, we have the purses. I think I showed that before. The purses, mugs, magnets, wallets, and clothing. And the clothing is really lovely. So, it's funny, I always think of that as being like a Halloween themed sort of theme, but it's kind of Christmas too. I think a lot of the things I've done have focused more on the Halloween side of things. Like with all the statues that we've done with the Tim Burton stuff, it's been it's all been Halloween themed backdrops. But I was talking to the Bradford group about maybe doing the Christmas version of them too, which is, some people like it because they like Christmas, some people like it because it's Halloween every day, but that really is kind of a Christmas movie as well as a Halloween movie. Which I think, hey, at Disneyland, Maddie, when they do the Haunted Mansion and they do it like the Nightmare Before Christmas, they do it from Halloween until Christmas, right?
Yes, because
it goes all the way to Christmas.
Yeah, because
it like goes through December, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there might, and again, it's not official yet, but there might be some sort of Christmassy versions of the little statues we're doing for Hamilton too. So we shall see. Things are in the works. With projects like that with Hamilton, often we do a lot of designs and projects that never even make it past the drawing board. So I don't always know if it's something I'm working on, if it's actually going to be a physical project someday, that it's going to be something you can buy, or if it's something we do and they do a test market for, and if not enough people sign up or say they're interested, they just scrap it, or they'll retool it and they'll try it again in a few years. So I never
Jasmine,
know. Yeah.
Any news on our clothing company,
People's Choice?
People's Choice.
I am not sure what to think about them right now. They had a really bad hacker attack a few months back where somebody basically decimated their website and took something. They deleted everything. I don't know why somebody would do this, but people have too much time on their hands and some people are just haters or something. I don't know. They just like deleted everything. They got up there, deleted everything. Something that took them 6 years to build. This was a brother and sister company that put all this together, and it was all licensed, and they did like the best shirts ever. I don't know how many shirts me and Matt have of theirs, but they're super nice people. Brenda and Brian, we've met them many times. Their factory is actually very close to the Corey Hopper Gallery there in Boyle Heights in California. But so hopefully they'll get back on their feet. But that was kind of an awful thing to happen. It's almost like a terrorist attack if you can do it on the internet. So I'm hoping they'll be able to figure it out, and it's going to cost them a fortune. But cross your fingers, yeah.
Vampire Dragonling.
Yeah.
When will we have canvases?
Well,
And what sort of canvases?
let's see. I'm more or less finished sketching this little honey here. Again, she's the one I was just showing you. And I don't know how much you can see of my desk from here. Can you see her? I might have to scoot her down. Okay. So I have a Vampire Dragon here. I have a big desk here. This isn't my giant easel, but it's pretty big. So this is how she's looking so far. I ended up making her dress a lot more fancy with lace, and I did put a little bit of a hint of, we were talking about how the Swarovski company had put little jewels in the statue version of this. So instead of just making them look like real skulls, I made them look like real skulls, but they have a little bit of rubies or red Austrian crystals glowing in their eyes. So that took me a little bit longer than I would have thought, but she's coming along nicely. The only thing I really have to finish on her will be the dragon himself here, or herself, I don't know. Hard to tell reptiles. So I might work on this for a while, and I might finish it tonight. So basically I'm in the middle of sketching this one, the Dia de Muertos little fairy, Sweet Isabella, and working on my Vampire Dragonling. Once I am finished with her, it doesn't take a whole lot of time from the...
Or loving it.
Time. Oh, good! Yay! I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll show up here. I don't know what camera can see her better.
Will she be a pin design?
You know, I have gotten more requests for this as a pin design than like any other painting I have done recently. So I think she would make a very nice pin design. She is, of course, already a sculpture. Well, the character is, not this exact scene. The character Princess of the Night, that was another one I did for the Bradford group. That is, she has a little raven, like a little crow friend. But I was like, oh, I want a dragon, so I put a dragon on. Yeah.
I forgot to grab the ACEOs.
Oh my god!
They're upstairs. I apologize. Like I was saying, Jasmine's got a lot of things.
We're here for... I know, I go away for like 4 days. I can't find things. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do you want to show
Have
these
I not
off?
showed those yet?
Did you show these?
I think... Did I? Okay.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. If I haven't... No. I think I was trying to see if they'd worked before.
Okay. I
don't
can't
think
remember.
so.
I don't think you did.
I do so much stuff. It's hard to remember if I... Can you hand me that one too?
Yeah, I'll
I
be
do
right
so
back.
many things. It's
forgot
hard to
these.
remember if I did this last week, or actually I think we got these since last week, but you probably have seen these on the internet. These are super shiny and I have like 14 lights by me, but these are the new wine glasses that have my pictures on them, and these are not just wine glasses. These are actually real silver plated glass. They triple fire the glass and they are super cool. They're very strong and they have little handset little gold stars on them. This one has got Heart of Neils. This one has Angel of Starlight. And this one's kind of more of a warm gold sort of finish, and this one is silvery, but both of them are silver inside. It probably just looks like a big shiny thing that you can't tell what it is. But anyways, these are finally now in stock. This is another one that we did with the Bradford group, and
I'll put a link up.
and Tanya, I was gonna say Tanya at Burning Desires has these on her website now too.
I will put those links.
Yes, so if you live worldwide, you can buy those too. They're not cheap. I think they're like around $50 for a set of two, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, people love those.
But they are one of my favorite things that have come out.
I'll put
Even
those links
if
up,
you're
guys.
not a wine drinker, they hold 14 ounces, which is pretty good. They're like 10 inches high, but you can use them for, juice, or I've had some friends who, like pagan friends, who use them for the chalice if they have an altar, or anytime you want a special cup that is decorative. But don't put them in the dishwasher. It says not to, because it has gold, and don't put it in the microwave because it's actually metal. It's silver.
And not for children.
Not for children. Well, I think they just say that because they're breakable, but and children shouldn't drink wine, but you could put juicy juice in it and that'd be fine. But they are metal coated, like actual 100% silver coated on the outside of glass. So they've triple fired, so it should be pretty safe. But you can order these now from Tanya at Burning Desires Gifts. So even if you are in New Zealand, or we had somebody from South Africa asking about them when I posted a picture of them on my Patreon, because they have a vineyard in South Africa, which is pretty cool. A lot of neat wine comes out of South Africa.
Okay, I think I have.
And they will totally
everything
ship there.
down
So.
here now.
Is that everything?
Yeah. So
My
whenever
God,
you
it's
want
been a busy week.
whenever you want the ACEOs, they're
Okay,
available.
yeah, well,
I've got 'em behind me.
I was gonna say, I want to actually paint stuff,
Yes, please
because
do.
I gotta leave in a couple hours to go to Kansas City to go
Are
to
you
the
gonna
Ren Fair.
go ahead and finish up the
I want to
Empire
finish up
Dragon?
my little dragon here, but you know what? I could probably let this dry for a little bit more. If you want to bring the ACOs over, I'll show those, and then I can shut up about all the merchandise things.
You want to show off the purse? I don't know when it stops. I mean, you have
It
so
never
much stuff.
stops.
It's
I
crazy.
know. You think once a week or twice a week would be
I'm just
enough.
here to help. I don't know exactly what all we're gonna.
Here's the opposite of a fancy wine glass. It's a giant iced tea thing made out of wood.
Oh, also, we have the
Mm.
things to show people.
I'll show the pins later.
Okay.
I want to actually paint. I got work to do, man.
Okay.
Okay, so you might remember, or if you didn't get to see it, look at last week. Last Thursday, right?
Yes.
Yes. These, I finished all the ACO cards. These are the tiny little canvases that I hand embellish
Tiny
little
embellishments.
details. I paint little details, and then I have a few different times I put up here at Twitch. They might be on YouTube now too. If it goes past 2 months, they pop over to YouTube. But all these little friends are finished, and they are up on eBay, and I make one of each. So, and you might remember, hey, I actually painted this one on Twitch. Remember, Maddie? That was one of the custom
can't
ones I
see it.
did. I think,
Yeah.
is this Angie's? Somebody.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Sabina.
No, this is Angel and her vampire.
Oh, wait,
because
okay.
it's the kitty. You might not be seeing the same pictures I'm showing here because I'm probably on a delay here. But the one with the kitty,
Huh?
is Angel and her vampire, who is also
In
a
Sabine
kitty.
Morning.
Sabine in Morning. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
that was on. Twitch.
That was on Twitch, and so I don't really do prints of the mini paintings, so the little canvases we do of these are pretty much the only way you can get a reproduction, unless you bought the original. And I promise, I have had probably 12, maybe 15 people email me asking about when I'll do the mini custom paintings on Twitch again, and the answer is soon. After I'm done with the Ren Fair, I come back here, I will do some mini paintings, so.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Would you consider selling single sheets of your coloring pages as you do the small prints at the live events?
Oh, let me see. It depends on... It's hard legally for me to do that because the ones that are from the coloring books, I cannot sell myself. Those are owned by the publishers, Blue Angel Publishing, Llewellyn Books. They are the people who can sell those, and those are in the books. I do have downloadable coloring pages up at my Patreon. Right now, I think I've got like 46 different ones. I've got grayscale, and half of them at least are traditional line art. And those ones you get for free. Well, it costs $5 to join, but you can download all those and you can get a whole bunch of them there. That's the easiest way if you want to try to get a bunch of coloring pages. And those are ones that are not in the coloring books. But since I have designated those as Patreon exclusive, I can't legally sell those to the public. And alternately, the pages that are in the published books, that's part of actually publishing something instead of like self-publishing something. I can't print those out and sell them to people. But the books are not expensive, and right now, if you are, I don't know if they're still in England, but here in America, we just saw them at in Orlando, Maddie. If you go to Barnes & Noble, they have the Strangeling special Coloring Heaven magazine, and
Jasmine actually saw it.
I saw it from the parking lot. I was like, they have my stuff in there, and I saw it when we were literally in the parking lot, like by the Whole Foods or whatever. And it's like, hey, look, Barnes & Noble has my coloring magazine there, and it's a cheap way to get a whole bunch of coloring pages.
Jasmine, Tammy said, love the Patreon, just trying to reach more people.
Oh,
I understand. You're very sweet.
Oh no, thank you. Yeah, I'm not able to. Yeah, I can't distribute digitally or share or do or sell any of the individual pages that are in the coloring books, because those are owned by the publishers, because they are the people who paid me to make the book. So that's how they make their money, and that's only fair. They're an excellent publisher. And the books are not expensive. I think if you go on Amazon, you can get the coloring books for not a lot, like $13, and there's 90 pages in there. They're like on artist paper. You can use paint on them. They're really nice. Oh, here's one I think this was Jackie's. This is another one that was a mini painting I did here at Twitch. I think it was one of our Kansas City studio, wasn't it? I forget. So. Yeah. Rococo and pink. So these are a lot of these are
embellished last.
Yeah, this is one I embellished last week. Yeah, if you look at our last broadcast. So these are all little tiny canvases, and I haven't written on the back yet, but I write all the authentication information on the back, and I say number 1 of 1 because I only make one. And probably most of these are ones that we did on Twitch, because look, there's the possums and there's the ninjas, and yeah, I just make one of each of these, and then it's a good way to collect artwork. I love these. I think they're meant for Pokemon cards or baseball cards or something. These little plastic things that hold them, and because they're exactly 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And we have some collectors who have like binders full of these. So if you don't have wall space, or if you don't have much of a budget, I only start them off at $0.01. From there, they can go pretty much anywhere.
Somebody in the room just mentioned Truffles.
Truffles.
Has anybody ever went with a trained dog or piggy and went truffle hunting, like actual truffle hunting?
I have never done that.
We have some people don't they do that in France?
Yeah, I think they do.
We have some people in France.
In Europe.
Anybody ever truffle hunt?
I have never been truffle hunting.
I love truffles. I'm
a truffle junkie.
Yes, yeah. Jasmine has put me on truffles, and I haven't got off yet.
No, I understand why they're expensive. They're tasty. I've never had them fresh though, really. I've had them ones like in little jars. Pardon?
Want to hear some good service?
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah.
Says, on the last Twitch episode, I asked about the unsealed court postcards on Zazzle.
Oh, yeah.
Jasmine said to email Chris, so I did, and now the complete set of postcards are on Zazzle.
See?
And I already bought mine.
Oh my gosh, fantastico.
Oh, Chris.
No, yeah, if you guys...
I'll have to shake his hand.
If there's ever a product that you're like, hey, Twitch makes binders and notebooks and t-shirts, or I'm sorry, Zazzle does.
There's so many.
Yes, if you're on Twitch and you're like, hey, I want a notebook for my kid or my Zazzle sort of binder or anything, they do shirts too. They also go up to size 6X, so you can get and do like onesies for babies, so they cover the whole gamut really. If there's something you want up there, email Chris@strangeling.com, CHRIS@strangeling.com, and he can usually hook you up. They have interesting things up there too. They'll have coffee cups and...
Jasmine, Valster just subscribed for 5 months in a row.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even know you could do that
Valster.
for 5 months. That's awesome.
Wow,
Thank
you're a better
you.
person than me.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, hopefully I'm not quite there yet, but when I get to the point I'm a partner, they told me I could make, what was it, 30 little icons, emojis rather.
Something like that.
Yes. So when that happens, that's going to be a game changer because I'm going to have so much fun.
I just want to hang out
those.
with a piggy.
Yeah.
Or a trained doggy.
I know sometimes when you do things like, let's say you're visiting France on a cruise or something, they will have like short excursions where you can go out with a piggy and go look for truffles. I think that sounds fun. And I know sometimes with the doggies, I'll give them a little piece of the truffle, even though they cost $1 million.
Layla, do you eat pasta? He's talking about truffle oil on pasta. Jasmine will do that for me a lot. And also, it's really, really good on pizza crust.
Yes.
And pizza.
And popcorn.
And popcorn.
If you're not a big fan of popcorn, put some truffle oil and...
Also, truffle fries are everywhere.
Truffle fries are everywhere now. I remember the first time I had them, I was like, oh, that's a weird thing. And now it seems like everywhere you go has truffle fries. That's good.
Wait, you did some boat rowing, Mimi? What do you mean? Are you just joking? Well, she said she's famished after doing a bunch of boat rowing.
Oh, like rowing wear?
Yeah, but some people tell jokes all the time in here. I don't know who's telling them.
That's true.
Truffle oil on fresh mozzarella.
Oh, see, that sounds good.
Yes, that sounds great. Sounds really great. I love.
Hey, actually, we might have that tonight. Remember?
I find that they really overpower everything you put them on.
Truffles are one of those things that it's like you eat it, you notice the truffles. They're the loudest noise in the room. Was that a magic noise too?
Yes.
Somebody else?
Wild Elf Fairy just subscribed for 5 months in a row.
Oh my
Thank you so much.
Ah, thank you. I didn't know there was a 5 months thing.
Yeah.
Hey, every time anybody does that helps us do more of these shows.
Oh yes, with Fakasha, that's so good. Are you going to make new fans with new designs? I imagine Jasmine is, but
I think so.
Maybe
I'm trying to think what show. You know, we'll probably do it for MegaCon. Will be the next one.
So that would be.
No, is it March or May? Oh, it's May. I keep
wait.
No, I keep saying March because it used to be March. And now it's I'm thinking of Spectrum Planet Comic Con.
Have we announced that, or is that?
I have not. I don't think I've announced it, but I can tell people about it. Okay.
Mimi is planning to row to Whitby, says Super B.
Oh, that's some rowing. Yeah. That is some good upper body exercise, huh?
Yeah, you'd have a lot of upper body strength after I doubt you'd make it.
No.
Well, you have fans with you in Whitby. Only real human fans.
Yeah.
You won't have the.
I don't think we don't have any left over from DragonCon, do we?
Those would be very difficult to get there.
They're hard to bring there. You have to remember the things that we bring to Whitby that are not made in the United Kingdom. I have to put in my one suitcase everything, like signs and business cards and paintings.
It is very difficult.
I have to put it in the same suitcase I put my shampoo and my clothes and my shoes and all that, and so because I only get one suitcase usually when I go in. So if it's something like bamboo fans, they take when they're wrapped up, each one's like that big. I'm like, it's either that or bring my contact lens solution, and I'm gonna pick that one.
We've got a winner in chat.
Oh, excellent! Are they here in the room? And this is for the
This is for the Jack and Sally notebook.
The notebook, yes. I haven't signed it yet, but I will sign it for you. And again, it is a lovely notebook journal. These are available at Disney World if anybody wants to buy one, or you can get them at your WDW store. And I will sign it. I don't know. Are they here in the room?
Yes, they were chatting earlier.
Oh, excellent.
They may not be in the room currently, but they were chatting earlier.
The only question I have for them is if they, and like I ask when I'm doing Disney events, if they prefer I sign it on the front or on the inside. What's that?
They were asking about clothing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, sometimes people like me to sign like the front of the notebook, and some people say, "Oh, sign it inside there." But since
if they're in the room, we'll ask.
Okay, if they're here, ask them that. Otherwise, I'll do both. Why not? I got lots of pens. Because some of the people who have had me signing the ones on the front have been, again, putting these in mats and frames and hanging up on the wall by their other Disney prints.
I'm thinking about. I think they ordered some things that we can't send out till next week anyway.
Oh, we can put it all in the same package. Maybe.
Right. If that's the person I'm thinking about, they have looks like the same.
Again, and apologizing in advance if we ever confuse anybody with anybody else.
Yes, that's why I try not
For
to do it. I don't want to get embarrassed.
That's why when I do my Patreon giveaways, I always say what city somebody lives in, because we have 3 people with the same first and last name on Patreon, and I don't ever want to get somebody's hopes up and thought they won, and that's how it is.
Hey, Strange Brew. And I'm in for Christmas.
They just posted up on my Instagram saying they might pop up here today. The cake topper people, yeah? That was a pretty nice. Is that the one that's for the bits?
Yes. Oh, Steampunk Woman just gave us 1,000 bits.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Steampunk Woman.
So, on this painting here, you've seen, I think you guys have, I think I've painted this whole painting in public. Part of it was done at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival at the easel in front of my gallery there. And part of it, pretty much all of it other than that, has been painted here at Twitch. So if you are ever interested in the earlier stages of my paintings, you can go back in the archive area here at Twitch and see the previous episodes. Because I think this is like the 3rd or 4th episode I've been working on this painting.
Jasmine, someone's asking about Nightmare Before Christmas print.
Yeah, they have
people.
so far
Many. This is the most frequently asked question.
I know. I think the Walt Disney Company is probably kicking themselves right now because a lot of people don't know how licensing works, and I'll fill you in a little bit. Basically, Disney says to me, "Hey, it's the 25th anniversary of Nightmare Before Christmas. Can you paint a painting that's Nightmare Before Christmas?" And I'm like, "Yes, I can." And they're saying, we're doing lots of merchandise at the parks, the theme parks, Disneyland, Disney World, like t-shirts and things, and we'd love to have some new artwork that has your characters, but it's Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll totally do that. And I do that with Disney for a lot of things. For example, like the little sculptures, like the one we're giving away later. It's a Disney product, but it isn't something that is... It's not something that's like a canvas or a print or anything like that. There is always a painting behind it, but Disney themselves buy the painting from me, in addition to paying me royalties whenever they sell a product. So just because I do artwork for a cup design or a t-shirt design or a mug or a napkin for like fast food restaurants or, a lot of concept art type things, they don't always make things for the galleries out of that. I think the Jack and Sally painting is confusing people because the Wonderground Gallery does sell stuff like notebooks and, purses and shirts and things that have paintings on them, but they don't sell the actual canvases there. Because that is a different part of the company. The fine art company is different than the parks merchandise parks, I forget what it's called. And so Disney has like a billion different divisions, and one might license something and the other one doesn't. But you never know. Maybe if the merchandise does really good, they'll decide to do prints of it, and I hope so. I'm crossing my fingers. I'd like one for my wall, for example. But yeah, some people are taking the notebooks, pulling off the front and just framing the notebooks, or taking the t-shirts and wrapping them on boards and making canvas prints of them. So you can do that if you're crafty. But yeah, what's up?
Can you say hi to Andrew?
Oh, hi, Andrew.
It's Layla's Andrew.
Oh, hi. Good to see you. Or good for you to see me.
Well,
I always say people.
All this truffle talk has actually made me hungry for cashews, and I didn't really have a big cashew break the last couple of.
Well, we were almost out of cashews last time, man.
Yes.
Again, it's not a euphemism. We're actually talking about cashews.
They really are. Yeah.
It sounds like,
we're not that clever.
Or it's like, I really need a cigarette. We call it cashews around here. No, no, they're actual cashews, like from the health food store. We're kind of boring like that. But. So I am hoping to finish this little fella up today, because depending on how long it takes me to finish this painting, I might be able to scan it in before I get to Kansas City, or when I get to Kansas City. Thank you for the cashews. Maybe we can get prints ready in time for the Renaissance Fair this weekend. And since some of you guys were there at the Kansas City Renaissance Fair the last was a couple weeks ago. I worked on it there. So it's always kind of cool when I can debut the prints and the canvases at the place I actually sat there and painted it. So our neighbors there, the other workers, artisans, little kids who have annual passes to the Ren Fair can come see. It's like, oh, I saw her paint that. I can get the picture. So
Jasmine. Amy just sent us 400 bits.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Or 500.
bets.
Oh, no. Oh,
wow.
Altogether 500. I see.
Oh, any bets are good. Remember last time, I think somebody here in the room told me that they thought the inside of the dragon's wings should be turquoise colored. So it kind of ties in with the turquoise. Her little highlights and lowlights in the back of her hair are turquoise. But I want his wings, the dragon, I don't know, maybe it's a boy or girl. Again, reptiles, it's hard to tell. I want the outside of his wings to kind of match the outside of her wings. I'm going to need to get some darker colors out here. Because right now I just have some Titan Buff and some blue and white and some brush cleaner on here. So I'm getting some Van Dyke brand. My default kind of neutral, dark brown color. And then I want to get some of my...
Sorry, guys.
You cough right in their ear, maybe.
I did not. I turned my head before.
I'm getting some magenta on your head and cough. We got some matte orange.
One at the doctor's office.
Okay. I'm also going to put some Naples yellow in there. Because that will kind of lighten up some areas that I want to do, and will give it a warm hue. Again, even though this is kind of a creepy goth painting in a way, it has some very light tones to it. If you look at the background, I think we decided it was sunset because she's probably waking up in the morning.
Yes.
So it's not a sunrise, it's a sunset. But the color scheme is going to be very similar. I've also kind of, I think since you were here last, I have worked on the background. I've added in some more tombstones to reinforce the idea of symmetry. I had some above ground sort of mausoleum areas. And it kind of turns off into a mid-gray, foggy sort of background. So that keeps it kind of an indistinct, ambiguous time of the day. Is always good for vampires.
It's a lovely time of day. It's very ambient, and it just adds to her.
I might have worked on her eyes a bit more since last time too. Somebody was asking about the lighting in her eyes. If you look closely at her eyes, you'll see there are several points. You almost see the reflections more than you see her iris. You see on either side of each of her eyeballs, kind of in the cornea almost, you see some of the same light color that I used in the background. That would be the setting sun. So that would be the brightest thing really in front of her. And then I kind of took the little bit of the underlighting on her eyes. Hopefully this is showing on the camera. It's hard for me to tell. But I kind of went with a red overlay. I took some red paint mixed with water and put that over the whole bottom part of the highlight at the bottom of her eyes. And that kind of makes her look a little bit more vampire-y, because people see red glowing things and they might think of, blood and vampire things. Also, her necklace, I think I was working on that earlier today. So there is a little bat on her necklace that does appear in the figurine too. Is the figurine appear here? Oh yeah, it's over there. And I added her little corset and kind of put blood red in that too, and painted a little rose design on there. Yeah, what's up?
Crystal says, "You guys are killing me with this painting. I'm going to fall off the wagon again."
Oh no.
We hope that means
we are
just another original and not
other. Going back to that crystal method.
Mimi says, "I think I'll fit in your suitcase." Only if a chainsaw is involved.
Well, you could fit in 2 suitcases.
Yeah.
Also, it depends where you're going. To be fair, if we were going somewhere domestically, Southwest lets you have a pretty large suitcase, and you get 2 per person for free. It's pretty nice. Unlike Spirit Airlines.
Hey, we go where we can.
Yeah. But anyway,
well, I guess we go where we have to.
I go where I'm scheduled.
We go where we're scheduled. That sounds
It sounds
that does
very
not belong on a
boring.
t-shirt.
Yeah. But anyways, on the little bat necklace, it's probably hard to tell in here, but I put tiny little eyes on the bat and I made them glowing red also. Originally, I was going to put red eyes on the dragon, but I wanted to put kind of a cool tone on his eyes so it wouldn't turn into a big red mass right in the middle. It's not like a vampire attack sort of thing. This is a vampire in a quiet moment with her little pet dragon amongst the skeletons at sunset coming out of bed. Oh, and I was also careful to think about how tall she is, how long her legs are. She's kind of cross-leggedy. She's got a friend on her lap, so, you know, it's kind of awkward. To make sure that if she were in that coffin, she could physically fit in there. Not that anybody would measure that, but if your eyeball sees that and you're like, oh, she wouldn't have fit in that coffin, that wouldn't be a comfy bed. There'd be something about it that would be stand in the back of your head as saying, something about the proportions are not right. So that is something I actually get my trusty ruler out and I actually measure things like that, because even if you don't know you're thinking about it, the back of your head is probably thinking about it and you're like, oh, her arms are too short. Yeah.
What will be the title of the painting that you had previously?
Let's see, the one I was showing that's up here that I'm still sketching here, I am probably you know, the other paintings I have in the series, like the ones here that the characters are based off of from before I did the figurines, I did them as portraits, and of course here are the figurines. They were part of a Milagros series. If you know, Milagros are the little silver charms used for devotional purposes if you are praying or trying to do something to make somebody feel better or worse, whatever. But this does not have any Milagros charms in it, so I don't think I will make it part of the Milagros series. I'll probably call her after her character name. Her name is Isabella.
Sweet.
Yeah, Sweet Isabella is the name of the figurine that was the pose, again, combined with the portrait I did, and that turned into the Hamilton Collection figurine here. So I will probably name her Isabella. I don't know if I will make her part of a series or not. Since the series has been very popular with Hamilton, we're planning some other ones. We're doing Tea with the Spirits, where we take some of the same girls or similar designs based off of the characters I've done, where they're sitting in teacups. It almost looks like they're riding like on the Alice in Wonderland Mad Teacups ride at Disney World,
Yes.
but with a lot more skeletons, you know, and more of a Middle American sort of Mesoamerican rather flair to them. So, and we have another design I'm hoping will work because they're so cute with these girls that are sitting on little skulls, like things you can set on your shelf. But anyway, so I will probably she is Isabella, and that is the name of that character that we've kind of come up with jointly from the portraits, from the designs for the characters, and also for the figurines. So I'll probably use the term Isabella in there because that's her name. But I might come up with a new name for the series of the paintings / prints that will be based off of those. But if you stay tuned, I'll probably be working on her. Depends how much work I get done on her at the Ren Fair this weekend in Kansas City. I'll be back here Thursday at 4 o'clock next Thursday. I might still be working on her. If not, I'll show you the prints.
You might still be working on Vampire Dragonling?
No,
Oh.
Isabella.
Okay.
Isabella.
Gotcha.
I literally have like 20 minutes into this. I might make her face the other way. I hope not, because I painted a lot of makeup on her face. Yeah, but I have done that before. I did that with this one. I had that dragon going the other way, and I just redid the whole dragon. But sometimes you got to do that because I'm like, it makes more sense that way. It's not like in Photoshop where you can just say flip 180 degrees. You actually have to draw the whole thing again. We'll see. But I will keep you posted as I do and let you know what her official name will be.
The name Isabella always makes me think Twilight. Isabella?
Oh, I think about it because I have a little niece whose name is Isabella, so I think of her. She's Izzy, though.
Now it's always a nickname.
Yeah.
So people keep talking about boating over to Whitby.
Yeah, they got some ocean there. You can boat. The river Esk goes down through the middle part of Whitby. That's actually Mieti, like where the little bridge is that crosses over, like where Holland and Barrett is. That's the river Esk that you go through, and that's the tributary that leads to the sea there. ESK, Esk.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's a lovely town.
But you'd have to go to the other side. You'd have to go underneath London and around the other side.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah,
well, I'm trying to think
what
what contributes to the river Esk if you're gonna river it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know my British rivers.
I don't know how big their boats are. I don't know what Mimi has in her garage.
Yeah.
As far as boats
heck,
go.
I live in Florida. People got crazy boats here. Sometimes they have boats that are like cruise ships and boats bigger than mansions here, even private ones.
Oh, there's a little picture of you on the slideshow at the Ren Fair.
Oh, that's funny.
It'll probably be gone by the time my voice gets in there.
Probably, yeah.
Yes, it would be cool to meet everyone in our pin group, says Steampunk Woman.
Yeah.
I think it was DragonCon, the first official
DragonCon,
meeting?
there was an official meetup because
I don't know how many of you guys were there.
It was when I was having to walk over to America's Mart for my licensing meeting, and I was walking out through the lobby in front of the art show, and that's when a lot of the people, we got a picture. We actually got a photo. I was kind of in a hurry. I felt that I couldn't talk to everybody, but they got a photo. I think they put it on Facebook, right? And it was a bunch of our pin people. And Jason and everybody with the exclamation point raffle shirts. And it's funny. It threw me for a loop for a second because it's like seeing a meme in real life or something. It's like,
it was a real life
wait a minute,
meme.
wait, oh gosh, yes, I know you in real life now, yay! That's what I like about doing real life events like that, because all of a sudden somebody who was a screen name or a question is now a real person that I have met. And that's why I'm a big proponent
You are
of
not your
real life
screen
events.
name.
You are not your screen name. I am, but
Best day ever, the meetup and seeing Jasmine.
Aw. Oh gosh, I wish I could have hung out for longer. I was like, it happened to be around the same time I had to leave DragonCon to go to a meeting, but
There is going to be a meetup at Whitby.
yes, there is. Actually, it sounds like a surprising amount of people. Whitby is not a big town, but the event, the Whitby Goth Weekend, is a pretty large event. I didn't know what their attendance is, but they get a lot of people there. Especially considering they do it twice a year. I'm not there twice a year. I'm usually there like every other year because it's hard to get all the way up to Yorkshire. But it has been going on for 30 years.
I understand they have a pudding there.
Yeah, they have those. Yeah,
A Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire puddings are not. If you have not been to England, they use the term pudding in very different ways than.
Yes, when I was little, I thought a Yorkshire
think
pudding.
it's like-
I thought it had some. I thought it was going to be kind of
more of a custard.
A custard.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
No, like
Americans
a-
say pudding, they think of custardy, jello-y custard.
Jello stuff,
Right.
which you would call jelly.
Right. That's why
Yeah.
I remember
See, that's a lot of
in the,
confusingness.
Another Brick in the Wall. The line.
Oh, in Pink Floyd, you can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Right.
Yes.
How can you have
Oh
your pudding?
shoot!
And we thought, why is this guy talking about?
Why is pudding so great? But
We
but
didn't
they weren't
realize they were
talking about
talking
Yorkshire
about-
puddings. They're talking
Yes.
about dessert in general, which I think is great
I've learned
because
since
in
then, obviously.
England, often on their list, like their menu of pudding, it will have a cheese plate, and sometimes I'll just order that for my meal because I like British cheeses a lot. It's like, I know this is pudding, but can I get it for my
Oh, they have good cheese
entree?
there.
Yes. They have lots of good cheeses. That's what's exciting about Whitby is very close to where Wensleydale cheese is made. And for those who don't know, I am a recent auntie, and my new niece's name is Wensleydale. So how can I not somehow get some sort of Wensleydale cheese or go to the creamery or wherever and take pictures of that for Sonia, my stepsister?
Yes, we have to.
Yes, and her mom's coming with us. My stepmother and my father are accompanying us
So
to
she'd love
Wigby.
that
So
too.
I mean,
She's the grandma.
Yeah, she's
It's weird to
the
think of
first
Robin as a
biological grandchild she's had. So yeah.
She just doesn't seem like a grandma to me.
People who see her usually think she is my contemporary, but really she's a parent. So a grandma even. But yes, Wensleydale. Wensleydale is good cheese too.
Penny lost her audio.
Oh no.
Or Penny Mouse one.
Well, I'm just kind of mumbling about cheese otherwise. It's not like I'm giving
Did our
really
music go?
You know, I don't hear the music. I wonder if one of our audio things cut out. Hopefully people can hear me. Paint, 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 paint. This can help me delay my decision on what color to make the dragon, which I should have probably decided early on. Is it broadcasting still? We haven't lost people, have we?
I think we're good.
Okay. Now, in the meantime, I'm taking some Van Dyke Brown and making some little scales on him. Even though you probably won't see these lines I'm making later because I'm going to put color on top of it, you're going to see the little bits of shadow as if he was a wonderful iguana and these are his magnificent scales. When you paint things like dragons and you're not lucky enough to have a dragon in front of you to pose for a picture, you tend to look at other reptiles that are large. Maybe that's where
for some reason.
So whenever I go to places, let's say I'm at Disney's Animal Kingdom and I take pictures of, can you set up lips because it's got the
Oh,
thing
I
on.
apologize.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I want to make sure people can hear me. Oh, okay.
The music stopped for some reason. Don't know why.
Oh, the day the music died.
Hey.
Nah. Anyways, when I paint dragons, I like to try to give them characteristics a little bit. Obviously not in their more stylized, kind of cartoonish, big-eyed faces, but the way their bodies are put together, and the way that their skins are, and how they would kind of look if they were a real animal. We have a lot of lizards that live in our yard here in Florida. How many lizards live in our yard here, Maddie?
1.5 billion.
I wouldn't guess that, but I would say over 1,000. Wouldn't
Certainly.
You? Well over
an exaggeration,
1,000.
guys.
Maybe 2,000, maybe 10,000. We have to be very careful walking so that we don't accidentally trod upon them. There are so many lizards in our yard.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
Not so much the alligators. We have to go across the street.
But I will
to see
say,
the
Jasmine, that
yeah.
as much as we walk around, we probably step on less lizards than everyone else in town because we're constantly terrified that we're going to step on
I'm
lizards.
always I have one eye on the ground all the time.
I see a dragonfly shadow pass by and I
freak out because you think it's a lizard and you don't want to step on it.
yeah, I've got
I
phobias.
know.
So Jasmine, Mimi
Yeah.
wants to know what color this dragon will be.
That's
and
what
she's sorry
That is what
if
I'm.
this question's been asked.
Oh
already.
no worries. It has been asked before, but I have still not decided. Sometimes when I have two primary characters, two figures, let's say it's two fairies, or maybe it's I don't know, Jack and Sally. Maybe it is a dragon and a vampire. Maybe it is a little fairy and a frog, or a mermaid and a shark. I often wait until almost the end of the painting before I decide what colors I'm going to put on the secondary figure. Whether I started with one or the other doesn't mean they're not the main figure, but that way I can already have the background completed. I can have the main character and her color scheme, or if I did the dragon first and I decided her later. So I have an idea in my head of what would really either stand out in a good way or stand out too much. Like, if I were to start with him and made him bright neon orange, it wouldn't look really good in this painting, because I am trying to have a good kind of realistic lighting scheme. So he will probably be a muted version of one of the other colors that appears somewhere else in this painting. Unless there's something like a magic crystal ball or something that I'm wanting to be an unusual light source, I like to have a primary color in the painting appear multiple times. That helps tie it in with the whole thing. It doesn't look like it's a color form that you just stuck on there. It ties it together. So since I have colors like grays, browns, maroon, silver, turquoise, magenta, kind of a gray brown down here, I will probably pick one of those colors and have it muted to the point that it will show some reflected color from the items that are around him. He'll be backlit a little bit from the light part of the sun that's coming behind him. Again, it's a sunset, so I can make that as red as I want. We see the outside of her hair, it looks almost bright red, because if you have brownish burgundy hair and you put it in front of the sun, it looks like it's bright red. So his little bits of his fins on his head will probably reflect that a bit. So I've made his eyes kind of a green turquoise because that will match the approximate color of the iris in her eyes, but has a different shaped eye, so it's going to reflect the colors a little bit differently. The inside of her wings, again, I don't think I've showed her yet this broadcast. Most of you guys probably, no, it's okay. Most of you guys probably saw her the last few weeks. I'm showing again. Here is my sculpture that we have of her. Same basic character. She's there in a coffin with little skulls. Again, the skulls have little red jewels in them. She's shown with a lovely little raven, but since I've already painted quite a few pieces that have ravens in them, I wanted to do a dragon one. And I like doing a Halloween dragon painting pretty much every year. So I'm going to take some of the color palette that's from that, so it's nothing too bright, but something that will look like if he was a real animal, let's say like a really big iguana or a Nile monitor lizard or maybe a small Komodo dragon or something like that. If he had kind of a neutral skin tone, grayish green, what colors it would be reflected. So I'll probably put hints of blue, turquoise, maybe some purple, since he is actually kind of hiding in this coffin with her. Like, that's her little kitty cat that sleeps under her arm while she goes to sleep in her coffin. He'll have some of those colors reflected in him.
I'd like to think that since he isn't, the sun won't destroy him.
Yeah.
He sits on the coffin and blows fire at things.
Probably.
Protects her.
He probably, yeah, he might go out and catch food during the day, because I don't think he's actually a vampire. I gave him some teeth.
Well, he's a dragon.
But he is a dragon.
I'm just making up stories.
Yeah, well that's the whole conundrum too with the idea I have of dragonlings. It does refer to the fairy character that has the dragon-like wings, but it also kind of refers to the small dragon that's in the painting.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still not sure if I'm going to call this vampire dragonling or vampire dragonlings, because it's like, are they a dragonling together because she's kind of a strangeling and there's a dragon with her, or is it a combination of the two? I don't know. Such problems I have. But he'll have some sort of darker neutral area down here, and he will get brighter as he comes up here. I think I decided to make kind of the front little breastplate of his little scales here. I'm going to do kind of a golden color, so that will be reflecting the sunlight. But first I'm going to keep going with that Van Dyke brown and making tiny little scale outlines. Again, even though, I'll show you a close up here so you know what I'm talking about. I'm drawing little circles and ovals and tiny scales, the way that you would see if you were to see a large marine iguana, where he has smaller scales around the ancillary parts of his body, under his arms, on his back, and then he has larger ones around his cheeks and by where his little ear canals and his little breastplate there, like he's wearing armor almost. I probably put way too much thought into this sort of thing, but I'm kind of nerdy when it comes to reptiles and amphibians in general.
People really
so
like that.
the
dragon protects her while she's sleeping.
Yeah, because if you are a vampire and you are sleeping all day and you can't wake up, it's good to
If
have
old Van Helsing comes up with any ideas,
yes, if
dragon
people
will
come
just
after
blast
you
them
with their
fire.
torches and their, crosses and, well, obviously she's not bothered by crosses. I mean, she's in the cemetery, but, stakes through the heart and whatnot. This guy looks like he can help her out. He's like getting a little guard doggy. Now, underneath where the wings are, again, I'm going to put some of that turquoise. I put that, I think, there last time on the underside of his wing, so that will help tie it in there. I know people always say after time goes by, either your pets look like you, or people tend to look like their pets, or I've seen many Facebook
Jasmine?
memes about that. Yeah. I don't look like Gamera, so shut up.
No.
Oh.
You look like Azrael.
Oh, I do look like Azrael. Yeah.
Who do I look like? Pig?
Yeah,
Okay.
I look like our little
Our
hedgehog.
little
Yeah.
hedgehog? Yeah, a hedgehog.
One of my first pets.
I'm trying to think.
When I was
'cause don't
first
look like a
dating Matt,
cat.
I was when I got him. What was my 17th birthday? I got him. Katrina gave him to me.
Yes.
Yes, and my little hedgehog I had. He was lovely.
It wasn't
We had
your
him
17th
for
birthday. I didn't know you
18th birthday.
Probably.
Yeah, I would have been. Yeah, 18th birthday. I got a hedgehog for a pet. I had been wanting one for a very long time, and he was a very lovely pet, and he was very well loved. And he was the first pet that me and Matt had together. But he was a fierce little guy. I think if I were in a coffin, he would have probably scared away people if they'd gotten near. I would usually wear gloves when I handled him because he liked to poke people. But he was a little sweetie heart. Remember we used to buy mealy bugs for him because everybody said, oh, that's like getting a hot fudge sundae for a hedgehog, and he didn't care about them at all. He'd step right on them. I eventually just put him outside because they kept walking around in our house. The mealworms, not the hedgehog. Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer this question quickly.
Maybe.
But
I doubt it. I'm not good at answering quick questions.
Kitten BZ says, Jasmine, are you the only one in your family with artistic abilities?
Oh no, we have a lot of people in our family who are, if not artistic visually, we have a lot of people who are in the creative industry. Both my sisters, for example, are authors. I have several people in my family who are talented artistically. My Aunt Pat works part-time doing portraits and representational art. She's one of the first people who taught me when I was a little girl how to do realistic portraiture. And that's part of how I got into this to begin with. My dad was a painter. He was a house painter, like who painted buildings and things like that. But he would also do things like restore Victorian era theaters and redo all the neat plaster casts and gargoyles and stuff in them. And I think that's what made me really interested in doing cool picture frames that have neat architectural aspects to them. And my stepmother Robin, the one who's coming to Whitby with us, is a very good artist as well. And for heaven's sake, my stepsister Sonia, who is our website admin, she does a lot of my graphic design. She helps draw a lot of the coloring pages. I'll do the painting, she'll do the drawing afterwards to make the coloring page. And she does a lot of the graphic design things for Strangeling.com and writes all the code for it. And
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Cass's coat of arms, their family coat of arms is a hedgehog. Isn't that
Oh,
adorable?
excellent. Remember when we were at Westminster Abbey and they had hedgehogs where often the little things at the end were on top of a sarcophagus where people would be resting their feet on top of a hedgehog because that was a part of a coat of arms for their family. I thought that was adorable.
And Mimi says, thank you, Jasmine, for answering my question. All makes sense why you paint the way you do, which is spectacular if you didn't already know.
Aw, thank you. Well, I have a lot of fun with it, at least.
And Mimi loves my review of the Meg.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet, but I'm looking
She's gonna
forward
watch
to
it with her donuts.
Oh, fun.
She bowed out after my review.
Ah.
She said, that sounds like a Netflix sort of situation.
Yeah, that is fine and good. Hey, Netflix in some ways is better for telling things than
this isn't a bad idea,
actual...
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Layla says an idea about a female Van Helsing painting
Oh, that's
to
true.
go alongside this piece, or maybe just a cute little vampire hunter girl.
Yeah, because I do have a lot of vampire paintings. I did that. That would have been really good for when I did my vampire oracle deck.
Yeah,
I'm
that
trying
would
to
have had a
think. Did
contrast.
I might have had a hunter card in there, but it wasn't Van Helsing specific. That was from many years ago. But yeah, that would be an oppositional card maybe.
That Nintendo guy asked if I'll do a Halloween movie theme review.
You should.
I probably will. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but besides the movies that are out the theater, there are a lot of movies on Netflix, for example.
Yeah.
And I could pick a theme, and I could also have people vote on movies that.
That's a good idea,
And then
especially if
Jasmine and I
it's
could have a new movie night together, and I
That's
could review
true,
it.
especially if it's even it could even be an old movie.
Yes,
you
I
know,
was
or a
thinking about having a classic
film.
movie review.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
A mix
because
of
you
movies
could,
that
you
I
could pick
possibly
ones that
have
were
seen
like
and haven't.
yeah, or ones that are specific to the time of year, like Christmas
Yes.
movies.
Or what I could do is I
yeah.
could have people vote on the theme. And
That's
then-
true.
and then-
Yeah.
That's a lot of.
Well, you could do things like
Hocus
vampire
Pocus says
movies,
somebody.
or yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Is maybe I could have the theme, and then people could give
And
suggestions.
since we are traveling between multiple countries
Sometimes
and
it's
houses a
difficult
lot,
for
sometimes
me.
it might be easier to do it on Netflix and actually find a theater. But I know you like going to
that
theaters
sounds
too.
good.
So
This sounds like
That
something
sounds
Jasmine
fun.
and I would
Oh,
like.
it's on.
Jasmine, have you ever read the book A Discovery of Witches? It's a great book full
oh,
of
is that
vampires, witches,
the
demons,
what's
and
her
history.
name? Deborah Harkness? Is that the author? I might be
Alamo City
confusing.
Comic Con. That sounds fun, but I don't think so, Cass.
Which-
I don't. Alamo City Comic Con. It's in Texas.
Oh,
Sounds neat.
One of these days I need to get down to Texas because I have a cousin who runs a very popular comic book store in Austin. And she's always asking if I can come do some sort of signing there. And she's had like Stan Lee come and do signings. She has like famous people there all the time. And it's kind of funny that I haven't done that yet since we're cousins. Oh, kind of bad, but
Yeah, we need
it's
it.
it's
Well,
the
she
same
could
parking
host
lot. It's the same parking lot where the first Alamo City Draft House was at too. It's Dragon's Lair, I think is the name of it. But yeah, because we see her at cousin camp.
Go to the basement of the Alamo. Oh my God, that Nintendo guy. That is Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh,
Was I think an escape for me
I think it was for a lot of people
when I
around
was
that
in
time.
6th grade. I think that's when it came out.
I didn't see it
love
until
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
until it was out.
One of
for
the
a
best
few
movies ever
years,
made.
But yes, Tim Burton, right?
Tim Burton. Tim Burton
Tim
before I knew
Burton.
who Tim Burton was.
Exactly.
And I love the animation, the fantastic music by Danny Elfman.
Yes. See, that's how you know it's
Fantastic
Tim
scores,
Burton.
good
Yeah.
comedy. I was a Pee Wee Herman fan for a while. Believe it or not, I had seen a lot of Cheech and Chong movies as a very small child. I don't know how.
Was it
But,
because your dad worked at the drive-ins?
Probably.
That's not usually stuff you show small children.
No, it's not usually. But I had seen a ton of Cheech and Chong movies. And
Yeah.
Pee Wee before he became the Pee Wee in Pee Wee's Big Adventure was on a lot of Cheech and Chong movies.
Yes.
Oh, Large Marge, yes.
Yes.
And like
oh
a trap
gosh,
fall
that
down
was
from
scary.
falling off the Empire State's Building.
Oh, I think when they go to that place with the big dinosaur that's out
Yes.
in the desert.
Yes.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go
Where,
there in real life.
Where Simone and Pee Wee sit in the mouth of the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes.
And Pee Wee says to Simone, everybody I know has a big butt. Let's talk about your big butt.
He's talking about people
He's
giving
talking about a
excuses
roadblock.
for reasons
Yes.
they have not progressed.
Yes,
beyond
a
so far.
BUT
He's not
rather
talking
than a
about
BUTT.
behind quarters. Yes.
But the stupid boyfriend just heard that.
Yes,
And
and
then he
took
got
it
real
the
mad.
wrong way. Yeah.
Bring out the beast, says Kaza. Oh my. If you guys, if I see 10 kitty mentions in a row,
Oh wow.
I'll get it. It has to be in a row.
Oh, Gamera.
Cousin Camp is a family get together. It's nothing that you'd want to be involved with them.
Except for the fact I designed a unique T-shirt for it that only my family can
I
get.
see one kitty. Uh-oh, Moobot messed it up.
Uh-oh.
One,
Moobot. Darn
2,
you.
3, 4, 5,
I'll probably have to make a bathroom.
7.
run
Oh,
eventually.
Moobot messed it up again.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh man, I got 10 kitties. I gotta go grab the horrible thing,
Okay.
possibly getting bit on the
I
way.
was gonna say, if I have to go to a bathroom run, I could get Sunshine. She's probably hiding upstairs.
She's right here too.
Okay,
Oh,
you can get her.
Sunshine's better.
Is she here?
Sunshine's asleep.
Oh.
It's a little sleepy.
Well, good.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Yeah, I did. I have so many wounds on my hands still. I mean, I had to redo a print once because my arm was bleeding from camera.
She was on the pillow.
Oh, I'll keep her. Oh, yeah. Perfect,
Like a
Sunshine.
squirrel.
Look at her. She's posed
squirrel.
like she's already taxidermied. There you go. You're still asleep, baby. You're still asleep, baby.
She's a cute.
You're a good girl. See, you're kind of like my little dragon friend, aren't you? Yes, you are. She's more of a squirrel than a kitty. She weighs like 3.5 pounds. She's tiny.
Kaz's demon spawn is asleep under her desk. They are demon spawns.
Yeah.
I suppose that's why we love them so much.
Yeah, especially. Oh, you can. Now she's behind. I don't know if you guys can see her, but she's on the back of my chair here.
Oh, she loves it there. It's her surrogate shoulder.
What's scary is Gamera gets up there sometimes. You can probably see her right at
That
that.
chair
You can see her?
weighs another 20 pounds after that.
Yeah, and Gamera, she gets up there and just. Okay, so I'll show you what I've done here in case you can't see. I basically drawn a whole bunch of circles and almost looks like a jigsaw puzzle on his skin. You won't see a lot of the lines of this in the finished part of the dragon because those are just kind of designs for me to know that he has a bumpy skin, so I'll have a little bit of shading on those, but it won't be really... Oh, Sunshine, don't drink my paint water. Okay, she's good. Anyways. But the brighter lights are going to have an overall sort of three-dimensionality to it, but it's like having a bowling ball that's made out of snake skin or something, because it's a sphere, so it's going to have light hitting on one direction, shadow on the other, but it's covered by tiny little craquelure on it that are going to make his little scales. And that's going to make him look a little bit more realistic in a way. And when I do areas that are like that further away, I'll tend to take my finger and I'll smudge over on top of it. Because if you see something, let's say it's like a corn on the cob and part of it's closer to you, you can see the actual kernels very delineated in front of your eye. But the further it is, it gets kind of blurry. So like his tail going down here, it won't be as delineated as far as the outside circles. I know I'm saying delineated a lot. I'm not saying ascertain.
Jasmine, do you ascertain your delineation?
I do. I am not ascertaining my delineation, but the kids in the hall folks know what I'm talking about. Both of you.
Yeah, I think they're in this room.
Yeah, but both of us. Yes.
I know that we have some kids in the hall fans, but we're a level above.
We're awful people in our house.
I think I stopped mentioning kids in the hall because I think people were like, what?
You're like, do you get money if you mention them?
That Nintendo guy just said Night of the Cow.
Night of the Cow.
Yes,
okay, we have kids in the hall people.
Yes, Night of the Cow. I like Bruce.
Bruce is good. I like.
He had to have written that one. That's a weird Bruce sketch.
Bruce McCulloch's personal assistant has bought artwork from me before, and she sent me a bunch of free Bruce McCulloch swag, like little CDs and things. So I was like, oh.
Cass says, I remember Kids in the Hall, but did you watch every single episode last week? I did.
By last week, do you mean every week for the past 20 years?
We watch a lot of.
No.
I'm squishing your head. Yes.
Yes. See, people know.
That's
the
why.
cool guys
That's
know.
why I quit mentioning it though, because it's like.
Then it turns into a whole slew of quotes. We've seen them live several times too. That's pretty fun.
Yes.
Well,
it's fantastic.
Well, I do have, even though I did get sunshine, I do have to go to the bathroom too. So I will be right back, and Matt can talk about movies or Kids in the Hall.
Maybe all of us Twitchlings should club together and buy Jasmine and Matt a tiger.
Oh.
That would make a kitty time not to be missed. I wouldn't settle. I'm trying to think of the big cats that I would be kind of okay with. I'm not super terrified of. Tigers are way too big. Oh yeah, well we love them, but they don't belong in the same room. I adore cheetahs. A jaguar. Ellie. I think I told the story here about before about my astrological sign. I think it was my my Mayan, my Aztec sign. It was something like that. So Jasmine and I were in Mexico, and this woman who was trying to sell us a timeshare was telling us about our Aztec astrological sign. So she looked up Jasmine's birthday, and Jasmine, she told Jasmine, "You are the queen of the universe. Galaxies rise and fall at every gesture you make. You are the master of your own destiny. You blah blah blah. And it sounded like the most amazing thing, as if Jasmine was a goddess. And then I said, well, what am I? And I told her my birthday, and she goes, oh, you're a baby jaguar. And I was like, what? Okay. So I've kind of been attached to jaguars since then, and I've always thought of myself as a baby jaguar, which apparently are funny and helpless. So yeah, that was my situation there. You can have our no soul cat. He's ginger, looks a bit like a tiger. He'd love your beast cat. They'd be best friends. Sunshine and Gamera don't get along as well as Tigreal, the kitty you never see, and Gamera. Tigreal and Gamera clean each other and whatnot. Sunshine and Gamera fight a little bit over dominance. So yeah. By the way, we did not buy the timeshare. Baby jaguars have no money, or wallets, so we did not buy the timeshare. Carissa, it is now. I'm saying that they kind of forced the Aztec calendar into a European astrology format, so it's kind of vague and weird. It's not like the normal astrological symbols that you're used to. You know how you have I would say the Chinese astrology's a little bit more streamlined than the Aztec one. The Aztec one's kind of bizarre. I have no idea. I am an ox, which isn't fantastic. My Chinese zodiac is ox. Jasmine is a what are you, sweetie?
I'm usually a ram. Sometimes it says a goat, but
yeah, and oxes and goats
or a sheep
aren't supposed to get along. But Jasmine is a Gemini, I'm a Sagittarius, and we are supposed to get along. So
yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. We're right across the
Queens of the Universes and baby jaguars, I assume.
I'm the director of the universe.
Director of the universe, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's not gender specific.
Director.
So, yeah. Director of the universe. That's me. I think I would have made some other changes, but apparently no.
People in the room are saying they're Chinese astrology. They're just saying, like, I'm a horse.
Yeah.
I'm an ox. It looks funny.
Oh, my dad's a dragon. He
Somebody else
always brags about that.
Somebody else is is an ox.
Oh.
And I was like 73, and they're like 1985.
Oh, they're 12 years younger than you, Maddie.
Oh, that's fine. They can have that. 1985 is a good year. It's a year Marty McFly went back to 1955.
I didn't like 1985. That's when I started
creepy,
going to kindergarten.
To dodge the creepy moves his mom was giving him.
Oh.
It's a disturbing movie when you think about it.
It's the past nastification.
Fry on Futurama, on the other hand, he went back in time and actually created himself with his grandmother.
Yes.
He did do the nasty and the pasty.
I like the term past nastification.
Oh, Kazas. That past nastification.
Oh, that's funny.
Love Marty McFly and Doc. Oh, yeah, those are great. Oh, Aim62 just subscribed with a tier 1 sub for 4 months in a row. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Rock.
Yay.
Thank you.
And again, hopefully after I get the partner here at Twitch, apparently I have to be up here a lot more and keep my schedule more regular, but once I do, I think they let me make 40 or 60 or a whole bunch more little emoticons, and that's when things start getting exciting.
Yeah.
It also means they'll start showing commercials, but I think I get to pick which commercials they are, and then I can do that when I go to the bathroom. So.
Well, Cass says, I'm also an ox, but I'm the oldest antique in the room at 1961. I bet you there is...
Oh, I know there are people older than you here.
1961 is a good year.
Oh, no, I know
Kennedy was still alive.
I know somebody who posts here, or who watches regular, and they post and they're 84, so... I have a very wide age group as far as fans go.
All ages. We're an all-ages show.
I think a lot of that helps because of the Disney stuff, because it's multi-generational.
Before Disney, you had...
Even before then, though. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. It is funny though.
I love how
sometimes-
you do that with the scales.
Thank you. See, right now, I'm just shading the individual scales here. So even though this back part of his arm will be darker, I still want the scale itself to look three-dimensional. So I'm taking Naples yellow, which is, it looks like it's very light color. I don't know how if this is brightening it out. I've got like 4 types of white on here, but Naples yellow is a more of a yellow white. But when I put a different color on top of it, it will make it look like it is a sunlight hitting it, as opposed to just like a magic jewel or something like that. And since the sun is setting back there, and that tends to have a warm yellow glow, that's going to make it look kind of like, hey, his arm's in the sunlight. There isn't really a trick to this other than just looking at things in real life and seeing how things that are different shape look when they have different types of light hitting
Jasmine.
them. Yeah.
Phyllis Jean, 1944.
Oh, okay.
That is fantastic and lovely.
44. So she is
My mom-
2 years younger
Yeah, my
than
mom
Sid
is
Barrett.
1952, and I don't think she knows how to use Twitch.
My dad is 52, and he probably is not on Twitch. He doesn't even have internet on his computer. But he has an iPhone,
He has a
so
phone.
yeah.
Fancy phone.
He might be watching. Hi, Daddy.
A better phone than
He's
you
coming
or
to
I have.
Whippy. Yeah.
I doubt he's watching. We could say whatever we want about him.
Oh, what would I say? He's coming to Whippy. If he says anything
That
weird,
Nintendo guy was
take it
born
with
in
a grain of
2027.
salt.
Time
Oh,
traveler.
Wow. Oh, well, hey. Yeah.
Hi, Tigger. It's nice to see you.
I got to yell at somebody
Hey,
the other
Jasmine, let's talk about coming up events.
We should do, because we
Okay,
have a bunch
so
of
I'm
them.
trying to think
Oh,
about
golly.
them in order. We have, of course, the Renaissance Festival, personal appearances.
Okay, person,
Renaissance
we'll be on
Festival.
person. Run Fair is in, what, 36 hours from now in Kansas?
Yeah. So be there.
Oh, yes, I will.
Okay,
I
so we
will
have
be
the
there.
Ren
Yeah.
Fair.
The Renaissance Festival in Kansas
Let me
City.
go to that part of my. Okay.
For
Ren
a
Fair,
couple
then
weeks.
October 12th through the 13th, we are at Disneyland.
Yeah, October
California,
12th
guys.
and 13th.
Don't show up accidentally.
Yes, for those who don't know, there are 2 Wonderland galleries that are both owned by Disney. One is in California, in Anaheim at Disneyland. One is at Disney Springs here at Disney World in Florida. And every time I do a show, I always get messages on Facebook saying, "Where are you? Where are you at?" And they're in California, I'm in Florida, or I'm in Florida and they're in California, vice versa. And there are 2 Wondergram galleries. They're both at Disney, and they're both in Orange County. California has an Orange County. Florida has an Orange County, and Disneyland is in one in California, and
It can
Disney
be
World is
confusing.
in the other. And I can see how that is very
So,
confusing.
Florida folks, the next time you'll see us
Yes.
at our Wonderground at our Disney Springs, it's not
Officially.
downtown Disney anymore, is November 10th.
Yes. And then people say, when are you going to be at downtown Disney? And I assume they mean California, because ours is Disney Springs now. And I will say, oh, I'll be there October 12th, 13th. And there's somebody who just lives locally and doesn't keep track of what Disney's calling things, and they will show up, wait in line, and Jasmine's not there because she's in California.
And then we'll be in Whitby,
Whitby.
and that's
That is in England.
yep.
There is a Whitby, I think, in, oh golly, is it in Rhode Island? There's a different Whitby
don't
that's
know.
somewhere in New England, and it is not that Whitby. It is the Whitby that is in England.
Do both Wondergrounds have a tunnel connecting to? No, only one Wonderground has a tunnel connecting the two.
Now,
That Nintendo
okay, to be fair, Disney World does have the utilidors underneath it, which are tunnels.
There are utilidors and such.
Yes,
but
those are
nothing like that.
tunnels underneath Disney World that are only meant for cast members, but they do not connect all the way to California.
Yeah, it's just-
That would
it's
take
just a
some
quick-
doing.
You know, it makes it quicker because they have little walkways, like at the airport, jets and sidewalks. So,
Yeah, they've got like little quick pathways.
no, I was making a joke.
Oh no! I thought you meant
they-
within the park.
Oh,
Okay,
they
no.
might have those.
Well, for example, let's say you are a friend of Donald Duck who is at one park, and you have to be a friend of Donald Duck at another park. You can go underground without having to change clothes, and you are there.
That sounds great.
There is a tour you can take.
Wait a second.
There's an official tour you can take at Disney World of the
If
utilidors.
how can somebody be Donald Duck?
He's a friend.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the way that you see a friend of Santa Claus when you go to a mall sometimes, and then
I'm
you
a
see
friend
one
of Santa Claus, right?
I'm certainly not his enemy. I mean,
Enemies of Santa Claus are not my friends.
Are you a friend of Dorothy?
I am not, but I'm friends of Dorothy.
Okay, I'm from Kansas. I have to. But anyways, if yeah, they have tours you can pay at Disney World. I think it's only like $20,
to the
and they
Kingdom
take you
tour.
down there. Yes, that might be what they're calling it now. They have a variety of different.
The
ones
room
they've done.
cheated and told me.
The reason is, for those who don't know, Florida is at sea level. So in order to have underground things like we talked about before, we dig a hole in our yard, it fills up with water. They had to build Disney World about 14 feet above the ground, put dirt and everything up there so they can have tunnels underneath it. Otherwise, you'd be in the water all the time. And that way people can travel, and they take the costumes and they move food products and
Hey, Jasmine.
distribution for merchandise. Yeah.
Have you heard any more news about the gondolas?
I have.
These are air gondolas, not
Yes.
awesome Italian singing.
No, these
and with a
these
pole
are
gondola.
gondolas that are popping up. I don't know how much of these things are leaked, but I've seen the blueprints for all of them, and it should be pretty exciting. And we've seen some of the actual construction.
They can't leak, sweetie, because they're the air gondolas.
No, I mean as far as me nerding out at the Disney forums.
No, I
or
got
something.
you.
I don't know what. But if you drive through around Disney World, you can see where the it's like a giant skyway system that they're building at Disney World that is
Imagine
going to.
awesome, like the London Eye mixed with the ski lift, right?
It's actually those of you
Am I describing it?
No, those of you who are in England and have the. It's part of London Transport now. It's off on the east side that is going through above where the overground connects, like to the city. They have some of the same actual gondolas that they're using in Disney World. The same company is building the machinery for it.
Well,
So-
good. I'm happy they've already tried and
Yeah, it's
tested
a
these
tried and
things.
true thing. Yeah, so they are basically like skyway sort of things that you're traveling from the different resorts at Disney that I think are going to. I know they're going to Caribbean Beach. They're going to Epcot. They are going to Disney Hollywood Studios. I'm hoping, but I don't know if they are going to Disney Springs. If they would, that would be so helpful for everybody. I'm sure some of you here who have been to Disney World and like to come to my shows that are at the Pop Gallery or at Wonderground Gallery, and you don't want to take a bus all the time, hopefully they will have a gondola that is going that way, because each one holds like 25 people and it's free, and you get on it and you just travel through the air and you go over the beautiful wetlands of Florida. A lot of Walt Disney property is conservation area, so it's natural Florida wilderness, and you can see bears and deers and alligators and all sorts of exciting animals that just happen to live here. And then you go by the lakes, and you go over the Magic Kingdom, and you can see people on rides. It's kind of like going on a free ride that you would go through a park, but you could, like how you do the monorail, but you're in a little, almost like a ski lift gondola like you'd see on a Ferris wheel, but it goes
1 minute to
horizontally.
raffle.
It's pretty cool. What's up?
Oh, less than 1
Shisa.
minute.
So this one is for the pins?
Yes, the pin set.
Uh-huh.
Awesome pin set. If you want to show that off while I
Limited
do the
edition
Moobot thing.
Here we
Moobot,
go.
Moobot.
And these are 5 pins. And Matt, remind me, and I will sign this. This is number 159 out of only 250 sets ever made. They're some of the only fairy characters I have in these. We've got
Warlock
2 of the
Redbeard.
spells here.
Now, I could be wrong, but I think this is
Warlock
Warlock
Redbeard.
Redbeard's 3rd time winning.
Oh, it's probably because he's a warlock and he's got powers. Yeah. I don't know.
Warlock, is this your... Have you won 3 of these now? Are you just a lucky person?
Maybe
Well,
he
he
is.
probably knows the score. I'm going to send him the message in the room.
Okay, but yeah, tell him to email us at jasminetoad@aol.com. Hey, you know what it goes to show? And become watch us every week. At least sign in and log in. You can win stuff that is worth
This is third
lots
time.
of money. You can eBay this for like $80 probably. So
Yeah,
yay.
it's totally his third time.
Yeah.
That's so
That
funny.
is-
Okay.
That is part of what random means. It means
I guess
that
so. That's hilarious.
he might win the next 5, and after that it gets kind of weird. But congratulations, you have all 5 of these pins. As always, when we do giveaways here at Twitch, you don't have to pay any money. We will mail this to you. If you
Also,
live
guys,
in
these
Australia,
will
we
be
don't
going out
care.
next week. I'm not going to be able to ship these until next week.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I'm at the Run Fair.
We have to leave again in a few hours for Kansas to fly there. I haven't even packed
We're
yet.
busy.
Yeah, and I've got, and packing sounds easy until you remember you have to pack all your pins and your paintings and your paints and your brushes and bring it on the airline, and people
Jasmine,
act like you're
sweetie,
weird. But
sweetie.
yes,
You're depressing me.
I'm sorry. Anyways, it's fun. Okay, but you've won these, and we do have a few more of these for sale up at strangeling.com. Do we have these at the Run Fair also, love? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Man. Well, you can buy them at strangeling.com.
I
You
think
might
that
not too. They're limited edition, so they might not be.
Right, when we
Yeah.
moved pins to Florida, I believe I took all those sets.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So these
If I'm wrong, I apologize.
there are not many more of these left. And now it's that time of year, and I'm totally doing another painting based off of the same sort of characters here. So again, yeah.
But
she's
I
kinda
will
like
I will
where they
alert
are.
everyone when we're running very low.
Yeah, I know. Again, don't always look at the website and think that the inventory that's up there is accurate, because
It may not be accurate.
It
There's
might
a bunch
not
of
be.
reasons
The
it could not be
software
accurate.
that is up there, we have to type in a number, and we don't always know the number, so we
Right.
type in a number. So if it says there's 1 left, we might have 10 more left. If it says there's 100 left, it might mean we have 3 left.
Well, also, for example,
it's
yeah,
a
if we-
dumb. I hate the software for it. It's part of the WooCommerce thing. I don't
Apologize,
dig it, but
in
yeah.
advance. Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't like that it even shows that.
Yeah, I know, because it's not often accurate, and sometimes we'll have them at different shows,
Maybe
or
there's
like,
a way to hide that.
or
I don't
maybe
hide
there
it.
is. I don't know, but sometimes like galleries or shops that sell things like this will have. Let's say they have 10 of them. It should be 10 less up there. I don't know. Anyways, but Warlock Redbeard has won this.
I am Warlock Redbeard.
Well, your powers are very strong.
Warlock
There's nothing you
Redbeard
wanna be
is
then.
enemies of let's see. Mage face blue mustache.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I don't know.
They're mortal enemies.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Someone asked me earlier if they go on Friday at Whitby to get pins, can they come Saturday too? Or
Yep.
if they're not allowed to. I leave the rules.
I think
and
Whitby-
any changes to those rules to Jasmine.
It's
and
actually
the-
not me. It's for the
and
festival.
the week.
but
I was going to say the
it's
Whitby
for the
Gotham.
Whitby people, but I think basically what technically the term for getting free pins at Whitby is per person, per purchase, per day. So let's say you're there, you buy one thing, you can get a free pin. If you come back the next day, you buy one thing, and you have to buy another. You can get something cheap. You can get like a postcard for £3 or something. You know, you can do that. Or if you have a friend or a child or a random person you found on the sidewalk who's willing to stand in line with you, you can get another one as long as you each buy something, and you can get more. It's not like at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival where we have ones you can purchase. That's a different situation because that goes for months at a time. It's a permanent building, and we can actually have them for sale, and you can buy as many as you want. When it's something that's only a 2 or 3 day show and it is in a different country, we have to make sure that they all get handed out to all the people who bothered to show up and wait in line and all that. So. But yeah, I think if you are there for all 3 days, come back every morning. Also, I don't know if I should say this, but there are actually 2 booths there at the Whitby Goth weekend. There's Strangeling UK that is run by Paul, my friend, who owns strangelinguk.com, and possibly his partner Allison might be there. She's super sweet.
She's great.
One of the best people I know, and Paul's awesome also. But and then I have like a little booth next door to his. By next door, I mean we have 2 little tables that are smushed next to each other. It's not a big, crazy, fancy show. And if you were to get something over there, buy something, he has some of the pins at his booth, and then I have the pins at my booth. So go to his booth, come to my booth. We'll probably each give you a pin. So and we'll have lots of stuff to choose from, and lots of mini things, and we also have other pins. And I think Paul is getting a pin. Oh, which one is it? The new one, Strangely UK, is getting love.
I don't remember. I just
A little baddie.
Oh, yes,
A little baddie, yes.
Thank you.
He'll have a new pin that you can actually buy there too, and that is not limited. So you can buy as many of those as you want. Each time you get one, if you're at his booth per day, per person, you get a free pin. So if you are up at the trading group, the Strangeling Pins trading group on Facebook, if you're not there, you should be there. Even if you don't collect pins, but you have some because you got them free at a show, go up there. If you have an Alligator Girl pin, go up there now. People want those. People will trade, cars and real estate for those. Those are very sought after pins. So if you ever end up with pins you don't want, go up to the pin group, and people trade them for paintings and prints and money. It's
mostly money.
Yeah, not mostly money. I think more trading happens up there than actually selling things for money, but you can sell things for money up there.
Husky wants to know about Planet Comic Con.
Planet Comic Con, yes. I'm curious of Planet Comic Con because I've had a booth
It's a
there,
fusion, eh?
but I have never been there because my sister Amber and her husband Chris usually do that. But they're combining with Spectrum Fantastic Art. For those of you who have been in the fantasy art collecting game for like 25 years or however, Spectrum is a book that comes out each year, and it's supposed to be it's a juried show where people vote and they pick fancy people to be the judges, and they vote on the best fantastic art of the year. And they have for a couple years now done a live show, kind of like the DragonCon art show, but you have artwork there.
I'll go ahead and link it.
What's that?
I'll go ahead and link it.
Yeah, put a
May as
link
well.
up there.
You guys want to see some of the best fantasy art
you will,
in the world
because
currently, because it's international.
Exactly. And apparently Spectrum Fantastic Art Live and Planet Comic Con Kansas City are combining into one event. So that's pretty awesome because my sister Amber has always set up my booth at Planet Comic Con, and I've always tried to, at least. It hasn't always worked out with our dates because we're often in England then, but gone to the Spectrum Fantastic Art Live show. So now they're combining the two, and they are going to have a 3-day event in March, I believe. I think it's March.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
It's at Bartle Hall. Kansas City people, you know where Bartle Hall is. It's the place you drive under when you're going on the highway, and it's got the big weird sculptures downtown. It's neat. It's a good venue. The first place I ever had any sort of convention at, really, when I was a kid.
This DragonCon is intense.
Yeah,
But there's a
DragonCon
charm
is
at
pretty-
Whitby. People are they don't
Whitby is-
the American people are asking about Whitby.
Okay, Whitby is darling.
Yeah, that's what
Whitby
I'm saying.
is like,
It's different.
it is different, and it's been around just as long as something like Dragon. It is not. I'm not saying it's bad when I say DragonCon is kind of a commercial sort of con. It
It's
just
kinda-
is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a flagship thing for media people to go and decide what movies are coming out next year. I mean, it is a big international thing. Whitby is more of a, hey, people, or a lot of people who like the same things want to come hang out for a few days and have some concerts and have fun booths where you can buy cool clothes and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
trying
it's
to-
not like a farmer's market, but it's like a.
No,
That's downplaying it too much because
Yeah, it's
it is
something
a
in
big.
between.
It is. It's something that
I will say that Americans really, we really
It's
commercialize
very
things.
non-commercial.
It's not. Yeah, it's got its personal.
It's more of a.
It has a personality.
Yeah, it
You know what?
definitely is.
Honestly, though, I
yeah.
think for as big as DragonCon is, it has some personality too.
DragonCon does more than almost any other show that far.
I feel
MegaCon
is great, but it doesn't have the personality that DragonCon has.
It is generic in a lot of ways. That I think since it's been nothing against Informa MediaCon or whatever the name is, it's owned by a much larger conglomerate. It's like going to the.
Jasmine should have signings I think Jasmine will have signings all 3 days at Planet Comic Con, but you won't be there every second.
I might. It's technically my sister Amber and her husband Chris who own the Strangeling art company. Kansas and Missouri, they are the ones who are running that booth. But I will be there, and I will be there signing stuff. So probably.
I will say,
I do at MegaCon.
The people at Whitby are dressed beautifully.
Yes, people at Whitby are the best dressed people I've ever seen in my life. But
yes, and Kelly Sarah's talking about.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
crazy. But no, Planet Comic Con. I'll be there every day at least for a little while.
3 pins at Planet Comic Con or just?
Oh no, I think I'll just do one for Planet Comic Con.
I think it's not a MegaCon size event. Probably.
I have never been to Planet Comic Con.
Maybe it's a mistake only.
But I've been to Spectrum,
3
and
days,
they're combining.
One
so
pin, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Much like Whitby.
That's what I think.
That's what we'll do this coming year. 3 days, 1 pen. We'll probably take like the bucket of pins that we have and say 1 for each day, like divide into 3. Like if I do 200, I'll say, hey, it's 80 this day, 80 the next day, 80 the next, or depending if it's a more busy day or whatever. But we'll have something for each day. Because I have not been to Planet Comic Con before, so
it's really fun to talk to people for 10 hours in a row at DragonCon, but it is some of the most hard work you can do. So sometimes when Jasmine has signing times that are like 3 hours long or something, she's in there and she's fresh. And it's really good.
Yes. Also,
and it's just a sign. It's
also
not to check out people.
A lot of shows like that. If you're a consumer there, you probably mostly see the stuff you're there to buy and things getting signed. But it's also a place that people go to do business meetings and boring things like contract negotiations. So often I have to go do things like that at those because it's actually a convention, like a trade show. But then I can come to the booth at least for a couple hours a day and do signing. And I try to do that every day. So
yeah, we did do a Twitch the same day we were signing at Meg. What was wrong with us?
I died.
Jasmine, which if someone were to fly into Whitby area, what airline?
Well, we are flying into York. I would say York is probably your best bet. You can take the train from the airport in York, and Whitby is one of the.
So
even though it
are
only
saying
has like
Manchester and some people.
Okay, yeah, you could probably do either way. I think if you're going by train from there, I would say go into York and then do the train. But if you're taking if you're hiring a car or I don't know, if you're going to bus through it, you could go kind of either way, but. I would recommend going through York and then taking the train.
Ozza said I didn't even know York had an airport.
Yeah, they sure do.
I hope it does. Otherwise, where did
I
you
hope so.
buy those tickets from?
Oh, I don't know, but yeah. No, they do have an airport. It is actually an international airport, but it's not like I think we have to lay over in I forget, is it Dublin or Heathrow? I don't know. We gotta lay over somewhere, but you can fly into York.
Motorway is the best for us.
Yeah, you got a car, then you're all set.
The motorway. That's a Mr. Toad way to put it.
Yeah.
So we're going to Old York.
Oh, nice.
We are.
Oh, I thought somebody was talking about like they're doing a tour or something. No, we're going to fly into York, and then we're going to
hiring one for Whitby.
Okay. Heather's in Manchester now.
Heather?
Mm-hmm. My sister-in-law, Heather.
Oh, is she in Manchester?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Manchester looks nice.
Yeah. think she's been there before on vacation.
What?
Been there before on vacation.
Ah,
so, yeah.
and is she there alone?
Yeah. Going for fun.
Is
She's
there
doing
going to be a
tours of
pin
large
for
houses.
Tintagel?
Yes.
Oh my god. Now, I've heard from the director of Tintagel, and she says that it's lovely, but it's not a very busy event.
It's only a one-day show.
It's only a
and
one-day show.
It's like going to a
pins,
school
I
carnival
imagine-
or something. So those ones are probably...
I have no idea how that's going down.
I don't know either, but I
I'm
said
not
I'd do a
sure.
pin, so...
So, yeah, that
And
sounds interesting.
Yeah, I kind of like doing pins sometimes when it's for a relatively small event that might not always get a whole lot of people at it.
Yeah,
So
you can get it
that-
right to Whippy, that Nintendo guy.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it is not. Yeah.
No, an
it's-
Uber. He lives in
Yeah.
America. So.
Oh well, then no.
He's
Okay.
making a joke.
All right, but you can Uber.
Do they have
there.
an Uber?
You
in
you
Whitby
can't.
area?
Well, you're not
Not
supposed to in London. The taxi cab people made
They'll
this
shoot you
ban.
dead.
That's.
Or actually, they don't have guns. They'll. I don't know. They'll
They'll
something
say
worse.
they'll say under their breath
They'll
rude
give you a
comment at you.
baleful glance.
Yes, baleful glance. No.
And we share the Uber. Asked Muriel to that Nintendo guy.
You know,
I'm just trying to figure out how much would this. You guys better tip the
you
Uber
know what?
driver.
I always thought it would be kind of clever if people who did chartered flights, like co-branded with Uber for small areas, like island hopper ones. I think that'd be clever.
I like the term island hopper.
I don't know if places outside of Florida have island hopper planes. Probably not. I had to go on one time that had chickens on it too.
In the UK, cars have boots and bonnets.
They do.
In America, they have trunks and hoods.
Yeah, pretty much.
A hood is similar to a bonnet, though.
It is
But
basically
a trunk
bonnet.
is not very much like a boot.
It's... Hey man.
When you have a boot on your car in America, that means that a police officer or somebody who's trying to maybe like repossess
the
your car.
traffic warden's gonna stick it on your car.
What's
Like
this-
if you parked in the same place
Right.
for too long or you misparked, they put a boot. It's one of those things that stops your wheel from moving. It's not the same sort of thing.
Ren
at all,
Girl,
really.
we will be at Halloween. We will be in the UK.
We will, yeah.
That's no. So it'll be a fun day. We'll have a fun day that day.
Yes,
They're asking
we
if
will.
we're able to take a break.
Yeah, bet. We'll
Not
be there
specifically
for.
celebrate Halloween at all, but you know what? We'll probably have some. Disney has all sorts of Halloween events prior to Halloween,
Yeah.
so we'll probably experience some of that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Because we'll be in California at Disneyland.
yeah, we'll be in California.
We'll get to see the Nightmare Before Christmas Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
Mickey's
where my giant
Halloween party.
wreath is.
Yes. Oh, with the little mouth.
Yeah, I love him.
He's cute. Is it raining, maybe?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Probably just lizards tapping against the glass, trying to get in,
Okay.
so our
They heard
cats
I was
can
painting scales.
go after them.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you for Halloween, says Shaylee D.
Yay!
I will not be dressing up as anything.
I'm always dressed up all the time.
Iron Moonbee says, I'm gonna bid you farewell, as I only landed back in the UK this morning and I'm super coffee and sore-throated. Ooh,
Oh
airplanes.
no.
Yeah,
Airplanes
I hope,
will do
hope
that,
airplane
man.
doesn't make us sick.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be airplane in a few hours. I took some zinc lozenges. That's supposed to help. I don't know.
I'm gonna take some more tonight.
And airborne, the little tablet thingies. I always
Yes.
take those.
Do they work? I don't know, but I take them.
I don't know, but I remember the one year I didn't, and it was at Dragon Con, and I got sick. So.
So Shaylee's gonna dress up as a fairy?
Oh, that's good.
Or maybe an elf? I don't know.
She's kind of elfin.
Yeah, well, she's the elf that paints.
I know. I've seen pictures.
Liquid silver.
Oh.
That was my nickname in high school.
Really?
No, I don't even know what that would mean. it meant that I was sick a lot and the thermometer was always in my
I was
mouth.
gonna say, I think it was
Called
mercury
me liquid
rising.
silver
Yeah.
because I was sick a lot.
Yeah.
Always in the nurse's office, trying to get out of class.
Colloidal silver. It is raining, love. I hear it.
I'm gonna go check.
You don't have to.
Do you get time to leave your booth at Whitby for a few minutes? Usually to use the restroom.
Usually to go to the bathroom.
If you can, you must go outside to see my mom's car. It has fairies airbrushed on it.
Oh.
Okay, Ian, I'll do my
Well, we
best to
might
check
see
it out.
then, because we'll be walking from. We're borrowing a flat to stay in while we're there, so we might even see the parking lot when we're walking through.
I don't think you don't seem very Hobbit-like, Shaylee. You seem more elven to me. But I don't know.
Depends
I
what
guess
you
that's
mean. Are you talking about in physical appearance? And yes, she looks very elfy. But if you are talking about maybe personality type,
I
hard
don't know,
to
sweetie.
say.
I don't see a drop.
I heard 4 drops right outside my window. I promise.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not just like lying to trick you or anything.
rain here is
Okay.
weird. You could, I mean.
It rains every day here, so because we live in the Sunshine State.
Because you haven't seen my feet. They're big and
That
furry.
that's
Actually,
a good
my
point.
feet
I
look
don't
very
think I have
hobbity.
it. Matt is not
My feet are very
un-hobbit-like.
large for
Yes.
how tall I'm not.
He's not very tall, and he has large furry feet.
But
He
I don't.
looks
I don't
painfully
live,
British too.
I don't go by
so-
the name Underhill, and I don't give gifts when it's not appropriate, and I don't. I don't eat 12 different types of breakfast.
Do you live under the name of Sanders?
No,
Okay.
I'm not Winnie the Pooh either.
Okay, just checking my British children's stories.
But really, Jasmine saying I look like an elf and act like a hobbit is the greatest compliment I've ever received.
Oh. Oh,
Well,
thank you.
better
Thank you
than
for
the
not
reverse.
taking that as an insult. No, I mean it in good spirits.
Do you stay packed in a suitcase at home too?
Oh yes, we have suitcases that we have at the ready at any given time.
Yeah.
Some are even a few years old, and I forget what's in there because we have ready like
I
go
switched
bags.
it out recently.
Yeah,
I switched out any medicine
I know,
and
because
stuff.
I was like, I know I have a swimsuit in there. I have, and then we had like any sort of vitamins or medicine we have to take every day. We have to switch it out to make sure it's like not expired or anything like that, and toothpaste and all that. So yeah, we are nomads in a way. We are nomads with a lot of houses. So I think I pretty much got all. I'll do a few small ones on his wrist. Other than that, I pretty much kind of. He
Different
kind of
ones
looks
for
like
different places. I see.
he looks
yeah.
like a pangolin here.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he's
Those
got
are a weird
not quite
beastie.
scales, but I love pangolins.
Jasmine loves Gollum.
I do.
Actually,
Even though he used to
it's
scare
funny.
me.
Sometimes when I do a sound test before
Yes.
we do Twitch, I go Gollum, 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 Gollum,
Instead
Gollum,
of saying
Gollum.
rhubarb,
Gollum.
like you would
Gollum.
like for a movie film, he says Gollum, Gollum, Gollum.
Layla does a mean impression of Gollum / Smeagol.
Ah,
That's pretty scary.
that sounds scary.
Everybody in the room wants to be Gollum. They
want
want to shave their head and be Gollum.
Raw.
I
and
thought that the
Taters,
movie,
precious.
what's Taters Precious?
Yeah.
The movie did a really good. You saw the psyche of Gollum / Smeagol when he talked to
Yeah.
himself, when he had that conversation
I
with
like
himself.
that.
I thought that was very, very, very.
I think
cleverly
that.
done.
Well, didn't he get a? If he didn't win the Academy Award, he got nominated for it. That didn't he?
Circus, Andy
Yeah,
Circus.
Andy Serkis, yeah.
Probably. It seemed like awards were all over that movie.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
A big one. I like them raw and wriggling.
Raw and wriggling. How do you say that to Rio or Kitty?
Yes, they probably all like them raw and wriggling.
Yeah. No, they get her
What's
awful kitty
Tater's
cat treat.
Precious?
Taters. I like it because he sounds like he's really upset, like he's missing out on something.
Oh, he looks like a kitty when he says that.
Taters, precious. What is?
Yeah. He's so old, and he forgot what it was like to be a hobbit a million years ago. And he forgot what potatoes
that
were
was
like.
once much like a
Potatoes.
hobbit. Yeah. Not so much different than a hobbit he was.
I love Andy Serkis. He's brilliant in so many movies.
He is.
Yeah, he has one of those.
Is he Shape of Water? Was he in that or no?
I don't know. Who would he be in Shape of Water?
No, that was Doug. I'm sorry, that was Doug Jones.
Oh, Doug Jones is Doug Jones is a good pantomime.
He's another person who is very good at expressing
Doug Jones. You'll know him.
Yeah.
He works a lot with Del
Oh, he's
Toro.
Abe, like in
He's
yeah.
Abe, and he's also in the Faun and Labyrinth.
Yes.
Not Labyrinth. The Faun and
Alfano.
El Laberinto del Fauno. What's it called?
Yes.
I can't even remember. Pan's Labyrinth. I said the
Spanish one first.
The Spanish one.
Yeah. Alfano and that.
He's a fawn in that.
A lot of
He's
things.
also the monster that has the eyes in his hands that eats the fairies.
Yes, the Pale Man. Oh my God.
Yes.
Scar me for life.
He is Billy from Hocus Pocus. I have to check that out.
Oh.
I mean, I always thought I was Billy from Hocus Pocus, but then you find out Doug Jones is instead. I've been lying to myself all these years.
That is almost more like puppetry or miming than it is acting, but it has its place now when people do the motion capture for CGI animation.
Yeah, it really can
cool.
bring the character to the funky makeup that they.
And when you see it, or
makeup
not, yeah, there were the CGI motion capture stuff, and when you see it done badly, it looks really bad.
Yes,
but when it's done well, it is
Hellboy.
amazing. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Nigel says his pins are as precious.
Yes.
Hellboys are good. Those are good movies.
Those are good. I've seen those, and I like them. I don't always.
I need to watch Hocus Pocus with fresh eyes. I think the first time I saw it, it was in my early 20s, and it probably didn't resonate with me.
Funny? I have never seen it.
Okay.
I know Luke, our nephew, likes it a lot.
Yeah, I just.
You know, they show it here in Celebration.
I don't know if that's a good demographic for that.
Around Halloween, they show that here in Celebration, like by the Celebration Lake, they have a drive-in of it, or a sit outside and movie of it. They do it at some of the Disney resorts around Halloween, too.
Doug Bradley is the guy who played Pinhead? I'm not sure who Doug Bradley is.
From Hellraiser?
Yeah, I don't know my Hellraiser guys. I'm sorry.
No, I'm always interested in the people who do things where you don't necessarily even hardly hear their voice or see their face, but they're the people who are expressing themselves physically when they are acting.
Yeah,
that's a whole
pantomime.
different sort of thing. It is pantomime.
It's a different sort of acting.
Burlesquing in a very straightforward kind of way.
Practical Magic. Is that the one that has...
That's the book. Somebody just asked me about the book that Deborah Harkness read. That had Sandra Bullock in... Was it Sandra Bullock? No, wait.
I don't know if I saw it. Yeah, I like Witches from Eastwick. If we're talking about witchy movies.
Witches of Eastwick.
Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah.
Not Witches from Eastwick. Witches of Eastwick.
Yes. But no, it's Nicole Kidman. I forget. Practical Magic.
Nicole Kidman is in the new, or was Bewitched.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who was in Practical Magic.
And Nicole Kidman was in that too?
Yes.
Yeah, Rangirl says that.
Yes. It was her and Sandra Bullock, and that
she
is
plays
the
witches
book. And that is
movies?
the book that they were asking about earlier was a prequel to the book of Practical Magic. What the heck's it called? Somebody said it earlier. You read it to me. Something witches. I should know this. Here I am counting dragon scales and not paying attention.
It's okay, sweetie. That's doing your job.
I'm doing my best.
Practical Magic.
A History of Witches? No, wait. But yeah, Practical Magic is a book.
Witches of Eastwick scared the crap out of me as a kid. Jack Nicholson creeps me out.
I loved that. My dad at the time when I was a little girl looked very much like Jack Nicholson, and he showed us parts of The Shining. We were little and couldn't see all of it.
Just the creepy parts.
It was mostly the bathtub.
That's how
that
you
was
raise
just the
children.
bathtub scene over and over
Just
again.
the bathtub scene
no.
with the girl.
No.
And the part, yeah.
And then we watched Witches of East Wick. And I like that a lot because I like a lot of the actresses in that. All of them. Michelle Pfeiffer. I like Susan Sarandon. And I like Cher's awesome in that.
Yeah, they're all great.
Okay, that was thunder now, by the way.
I hear the
That
thunder.
was totally raining. Okay.
We have thunder.
Okay. As you can probably tell, I've only outlined his scales, and I'm not still assigning him a specific color, but I'm taking that kind of mauve cranberry color that is in her hair and in the wings off to the side, and I'm using that as the lower side shadowing areas of this. Because no matter what color scales he has, that would be reflecting the darker shadow areas here. Tree of Witches? What the heck's that book name?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna sound dumb later when people can Google it.
Witches with Morticia Adams. That's fantastic. That's
the Roald Dahl one. Yes, the Witches. That's great.
Story.
I always loved that book when I was little. I was so happy when
it
they
has
made
a
movie
very
of it.
different ending.
It does, well, yeah.
I guess I shouldn't spoil it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should. It's been so
To be
long.
fair, the book's been out for,
so
50
in the
years, and the
movie-
movie's been out for 20 years,
In
probably.
the movie, a witch who was under the Angelica Houston, like her assistant,
Mm-hmm.
she turns the mouse boy back into a human, and it's a happy ending. In the book,
He's still a mouse.
yes, he's still a mouse. He thinks he only has a year or two to live.
He thinks he
And-
has 1 to
and
3 years
the grandma
left to live.
only
And
has
his
a few years to
grandma, who smokes cigars the whole time, so that's
Yes,
probably
is ill.
limiting her
That's very Roald
lifespan.
Dahl, though.
But yeah, it is. And she's
and
like,
they-
well, I probably only have like 1 to 3 years left too. And he's like, oh,
So
great.
let's
This will
go
work
destroy all
out
the
great.
rich-
Let's
the
go
rest of
kill
the
all the
witches.
witches. And
So
it's
they
like,
wanna-
kind of ends with that. And even though he's a little boy and he only has a couple years left because he's a
The
mouse
Discovery
now.
of Witches.
Yeah, Discovery of
Thank you
Witches,
so
that's
much,
it.
Layla.
Yes, and that is a prequel to the Practical Magic books,
Oh, okay.
kind
Well,
of.
I would, but I would suggest if you loved the movie, The Witches, you would love the book,
The book is lovely.
or vice versa.
Yes.
It's a,
But
it's a very
it
good
does,
film.
it has that sort of thing that I think American children's books tend to try to have a more happy ending as opposed to, oh, here's the dying grandmother and the little boy's still a mouse. But, mice live about as long as old smoking grandmothers do.
I like the horrible ending.
Yeah, I like it too because it's also
were
kind
very
of like a
happy.
revenge fantasy at the end. And they're like, oh, that's fine. Let's go take out all the witches,
Yeah, they were.
Which is very
happy.
different than the witches in other stories. These are bad, evil witches. They're not like
They
real
eat
witches.
little boys.
Yeah.
Wait, no, they don't eat little boys. They kill little boys because little boys smell like food to them.
Yes. They don't though.
Which-
Don't they smell like candy to them? And,
No,
oh wait.
they think they smell nasty.
And they thought he smelled gross because he hadn't taken a shower. I don't remember. I haven't read it since I was like 11.
But they turn them into mice because mice smell better. Little boys apparently smell horrible to the witches.
It depends on the little boy.
Oh, little boys aren't the best smelling creatures on the planet.
Oh, they're babies, they are.
Oh, that's before they get running around and getting all grubby all day.
Yeah.
Kieran loves the Roald Dahl books.
Yeah,
I read a
Roald
ton
Dahl's
myself.
Fantastic.
Matilda's another good one. That's
Matilda's
actually
very
that's a
good.
pretty good movie too.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito and that cute little girl, and I'm trying to think of who else. I can't remember who the wife is. They did a good job in that.
Yeah.
I love Jasmine's defense of real witches.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matilda's great.
Yes,
Matilda has really, really good villains in it. First of all, her parents are awful.
Her parents are terrible.
And me and the teacher.
Yeah,
she's
her
a principal.
nice teacher. No, it's her teacher. Oh, that Mrs.
No,
Trumbull?
She's
the mean
a
teacher?
principal.
Yeah, Mrs.
and
Trumbull is the
The teacher is a
Mrs. Trumbull.
sweetie, and the teacher
Yes,
adopts her
and then
later.
she adopts her in the end, and she just takes care of her. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
The best Roald Dahl book has to be George's Marvelous Medicine. I don't know that one. I don't
can't
have it.
remember. You know, I've read just about everything by him. I've read even his adult books, including the.
Maybe you guys can help. I need a forest-themed something you'd find in a forest Halloween costume. Any
What is
thoughts? They need a forest-themed something you'd find in a forest. Something you'd find in a forest
Something you find
Halloween
in a
costume.
forest for a Halloween costume, like a dryad
Charlie and
or
the
a
Chocolate
forest
Factory.
nymph?
That's good.
A forest nymph. Wood elf.
This is Trunchbull.
Yes, Miss Trunchbull.
I don't
She's
know.
Mean.
I'm not familiar with the actress.
Who is it? It's somebody kind of famous, isn't it, in the film?
They say it's Pam Ferris. I'm not sure who Pam Ferris is.
Miss Trunchbull or then
Swamp
what did I
Thing.
say?
Someone says
Swamp
do
Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yes.
I don't know a squirrel.
Oh. Yeah, like a hamadryad or.
Hamadryad. That sounds like a
yeah.
difficult costume to do.
Oh, you just.
An Ent, sure.
Ent would be good. And it's sort
When
of
he said Swamp Thing,
plant-based.
he was referring to a weird superhero, Shaylee. And that Nintendo guy is kind of a silly person and makes silly suggestions.
Sounds pejorative.
Well, he does, and he is.
Okay.
Nigel says Alayla reads very well with the voices too. The boys preferred her
Oh.
reading to them. Now that's sweet.
That's nice.
Pam Ferris is a lady from the Darling Buds of May. I don't know what the Darling Buds of May are.
Okay. Well, that's British too, isn't it?
Sounds British. I don't know.
I still haven't really assigned him a color, but I'm taking some of the Naples yellow and bringing out some of the highlights on the parts of the dragon that I think would be the shiniest.
Yeah, I think an Ent or a Hamadryad would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wood elf,
A Yeti.
wild elf, yeti,
Yeti's kind of snowy, though.
Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch.
Well, how are yetis not foresty? Just because there's a lot of snow there?
I think she's thinking of more green sort of forest.
Oh, did she say that, or are you
Let's see.
passing judgment?
I am passing
Okay.
judgment.
Mm-hmm.
A forest theme, something you'd find in a forest.
Okay.
It could be a snowy. When I think of Yetis, I think of mountains, not so much forest.
Mountains are covered with forests.
Sometimes I think of Everest, and it gets too. There aren't any more trees after a while because there's not enough.
After the tree line, but for the first 24,000 feet there are.
Well,
Like
I don't know what the
80% of
Yetis
it.
do.
Okay.
What do Yetis do anyway?
Same thing anybody does?
How'd they get so big?
The same way anybody does?
Any type of creepy, any forest, anything. Snowy truffle. So yeah, it could be a snowy truffle. You'd have to explain your costume to a lot of people. You could have a friend go along with you that could be a pig or a trained dog,
Yes.
and he could keep finding you.
Yeah. It's never creepy if you have somebody on a leash at an event and they're
I
trying
didn't
to
say
look
put him on
for
a
you.
leash.
That's what
I
you
just-
do with dogs and piggies when
Yeah.
you're looking for truffles.
I also like reading David Walliams books too. I think my mom likes those.
Remember Katrina got some? We were reading them on
Yeah.
the way back from London.
I never read them, but I heard they're really good.
She was showing us the fake menus he had for the kids' cafeterias.
Yeah, he's a very, very talented
He
person.
is a talented guy. He's very funny.
Will she be available at Pop Gallery at Disney Springs before Halloween? Tigger asks.
Which one?
This one.
This one here?
Probably.
Probably. Oh yeah, I think so. Because I'll probably finish her. If not tonight, then tomorrow. So
wolf
I'm
elf.
very close. Yeah, how about like
Wood elf.
yeah, wood elf. How about werewolves? Those are great.
A werewolf.
Yeah, they live in the darn woods,
Werewolf.
don't they?
Werewolf.
Yes, they're castle.
Sasquatch.
That's
Maybe LaFair
kind of
says.
like a yeti.
It is. I like the idea of a wolf elf.
Wolf elf. Yes, I do too.
I am performing
Sounds like
as
a
a
painting.
scarer in a haunted forest graveyard to scare families who
Oh
are
my
exploring.
gosh! Well,
That's
shoot.
why I need a good costume.
Well,
I
then
will
you
be
could,
a wolf elf.
you could woof elf that up, man. I should
Ow.
trademark woof elves.
I will be a wolf elf.
No, but you could have scary werewolf sort of things. You can have creepy dryad sort of tree spirits that are there. And
There
they're
is a,
angry
you know what
because
you'd
people
like,
are cutting down
Shaylee,
forests or something. Yeah.
I haven't seen her for a while, but at the Animal Kingdom here, there is I don't know what.
Oh, I can't remember her name. It's a local company here in Orlando that does like performance art, and she is somebody who pretends to be trees and has long kind of stilts in the front of her arms. I can't remember.
I won't, not Ivy.
I should
but
know this.
anyway,
I've seen
she,
her several times. And she'll kind of lean against a building that has ivy growing on it, and people won't notice. And then she'll move
she's
out,
camouflage.
and she'll move in a very
She's amazing. She's covered in
non-humanoid
leaves,
sort of
and
way.
she's yeah, and she's at Animal Kingdom in at Disney.
Yeah,
World.
often on the bridge before you get to Asia.
Yeah, she's hugged the bridge before, and she just
Yeah,
like
she'll
a bunch of
hug the
leaves.
bridge, and she's got like plants growing on her.
And
then
sometimes she has
she'll-
these really cool stilts on,
Yes,
and she does
and
these
it's like her front arms will be like
ballet-esque
different lengths,
moves very
and her hind
slowly.
legs are very small, and you don't notice it's a person at first.
Any
and
local
she's very
people,
lovely.
you know who I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. Have you been
Ivy
to
would
the
be the
Animal
perfect name
Kingdom?
for her, but she has a name like that. Not mine. Not any sort of divine or anything
No,
like that.
it's because it's actually part of a performance.
Okay, Muriel saw her. It's cool. It is
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, if you search Vine Lady Animal
Yeah, Vine
Kingdom,
Lady, and
you will probably find
yes.
her. And people who encounter her get startled because they don't even
okay,
think
Penny
she's a
Mouse
person.
said it's divine.
Divine. Well, Divine was
Is
also a performance artist, but
Well,
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
That Nintendo guy who said Woof Elf. Anyone else need any ideas for Halloween?
Yes, there you go. Hey, this is a good brainstorming group. We have a lot of clever people here in our chat room, don't we?
Yes. Woof Elves.
Woof elf.
That's her name is Divine. Okay.
Her name is Divine. Okay.
But I don't know when she's last performed there. Like I said, I hadn't seen her
there-
last few times, but
she was there not all that long
I'm not
ago.
really
Was
into
she-
that sort of
Wasn't
thing.
she
She's
there when
super cool.
Daddy and Robin were visiting when we
Okay,
went to
everybody's
the...
Googling her now.
Yeah. Yeah, they also have some other performance artists who do fire and water themes.
I can see Shaylee doing something like that.
And you can hire them like for events or parties, or if you're doing, I don't know if they do haunted house type things, but they do stuff at Disney. And that's cool. They're very nature centric sort of stuff, which is awesome.
James Patterson's Maximum Ride series. Is that
James
a series he
Patterson's-
wrote for children, or is that just his normal James Patterson sort of stuff? That guy writes a ton.
He at least licenses things with his name on it a lot. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah. No, really though. Yeah.
Woof Elf is the word of the night.
Woof elf. That'll be our next password for something.
What does a wolf elf eat? It eats alfalfa.
Alfalfa.
Alfalfa wolf elf. Children / young adult. Really good books though. So they are a.
Okay. I wonder if the ones that they have at the airport, at the Orlando airport. I only mention it because we're going to be there in a few hours. But they had a James
always like
Patterson
looking at
section
them.
that was for children, and I had not
Kaza
seen that
says-
before.
They are Kazamaka's 34, and they love those books.
Oh
James
golly,
Patterson,
yeah.
Maximum Ride
Just
series.
I have
Cool.
never paid attention either as a child
sucked, though.
or as an adult if things are aimed at either adults or children. I think a lot of people from a lot of ages can appreciate a lot of things. Well, I'm gonna wash this bit off my hands, hit the bathroom, come back, and do a little bit more work on
We
my.
have 15 minutes.
Okay, I'll be quick then. I want to get a little bit more work done on my Dia de Muertos girl here. Sweet Isabella. And what is the last giveaway? Is for the
Jack figurine.
sculpture? It's always funny because her name is Jack. Hamilton chooses the names on the actual issues, but because she has Jack. I wish I would have printed out that picture of that girl who came to DragonCon, Maddie. I think I might have put it on the pins group. I
Aw.
posted a picture. Because she had her in She made her hair things, her wings.
I am Cogsworth since you trashed my triplets idea. Oh, that's a conversation in the room. I was like, what? What did I trash? If you make it... Not me. That was somebody else. If you make a vampire canvas at Ren, go ahead and put it back for us. Tammy, that would probably be a Chris thing. So if you want to email Chris... And then Tammy, you, how many weekends are left at the Ren Fair? But I'm sure that we'd have one before the Ren Fair ended. So, I'm sure there's a person who's a fairly good artist in the room. Somebody should create a drawing. Well, actually, Shaylee, you should create a drawing of the wolf elf. Because I want to know the history of the wolf elf. One minute they're going to siege the castle, the next they're like, oh my god, let's be friends. The wolf elves? Oh, flip-flopping townsfolk, I see. The one she is painting right now, vampire. Yes. I don't think that there would be canvases this weekend. But probably after. I forget how many weekends are left at the Ren Fair. But I would imagine that Chris will have some on the wall. I don't know if he'd have it this weekend, because that'd be pretty tight, but maybe the weekend after. Oh, the flip-flopping townsfolk for Beauty and the Beast. Oh, I see. Yeah. They do flip-flop. They're like the Springfield on The Simpsons. I was talking about, we're talking about flip-flopping townsfolk. Three weekends left. Yeah, Tammy really would like a canvas of this Vampire Dragonling. And I told her, I don't know if we'd have time to have canvases this weekend, because that's really tight, but probably the weekend after.
This one's unless they...
Well, I was thinking like a, the ones that they have up there anyway, they're not signed, right?
Yeah, but I could... Either of us are...
She'll be here. She'll be there this weekend, and she said there's 3 weeks left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so in the future.
Sure can do a sign. Okay. Bring them there.
Yes, that sounds good. So we got 10 minutes till the raffle, and we'll be on for like a couple minutes after that.
A little bit after that.
We've
just have to...
really got to pack. I've packed some things, we have to pack a few more.
Well, a lot of my clothes I wear when I'm at the Ren Fair are already there, but I have to also, fly there. I don't want to be wearing a corset and a old-timey dress.
Yeah, I dress up as well. I'm not super, awesome, crazy Ren Fair guy, but I've got some nice duds.
Yeah.
I think
we'll bring our little things for our pin trading too.
Yeah.
And that is always different every time we go there, because every time we see people, they always trade stuff, so I never know what I'm gonna have.
Ooh, werecats are cute.
Oh, we have some werecats.
We can pick up Strangely Lonely then and wait for a vampire.
Likely. Well, it depends how much work I get done tonight. I might be able to finish this. I don't know if it'll be dry enough to scan in before I go to the airport. That's the problem. But we'll see. I'll do my best.
I'm not gonna wear a corset for the Ren Fair. No.
Oh, you're not, baby? No. You have a doublet. That's kind of like a little vest, yeah.
Yeah, I have a nice vest that goes over my shirt
Thunder.
and some pants. Mostly
Yeah.
barefoot while I'm there.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
It's kind of like 50s-ish in the mornings, and then it's getting up to like 65, maybe 70.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. It's a
Oh.
lot cooler than it is here.
Yeah, last time it was weekend before last. It was
Chance
pretty
of rain
warm.
on Sunday.
Ignore that.
I will.
No, I don't want people like not to come because this is chance of rain because it
Oh, yeah.
usually means nothing.
No,
so,
it doesn't. It's a very small chance.
Or it
of
means
rain.
it rains for like 2 minutes that day, and then I miss people that I wouldn't see for a whole nother year. So definitely come out this weekend.
Well,
if
I
you
think
can do.
Tammy is our person who's will be out there this weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, those of you
Anybody
who
besides
haven't been
Tammy
out there
coming to
yet,
see us at the Ren Fair this
If
weekend?
you're coming to the Kansas City Ren Fair, this is the weekend to come because I can sign things for you. And also we're doing a thing that if you have fairy wings, and this is a loose term, if you have tattoo of fairy wings or like a necklace of fairy wings or actual fairy wings that you bought at the festival, or if you have real fairy wings, that'd be even more impressive. You get a free mini print just by coming by the booth. Or if you're a Patreon patron, tell us the name that you are on Patreon, and you can pick out a free mini print. You don't have to buy anything, and I'll sign it for you.
And wolf elves don't get anything.
Wolf elves, it depends. You might be able to convince us. We'll see.
But we're trying to figure out what a wolf elf looks like.
Oh,
You ever do Ren Fairs in Florida? We've done a couple, Heather.
yeah, we have.
what is
the problem with a lot of Ren fairs is that you have to purchase
Sarasota.
a building. For example, you have to buy a house at the Kansas City Ren Fair. Not all of them are like that, but you have to
Camp
buy
Park
it.
isn't like that.
And
Bay Area
which
Ren
one?
Fair? Bay Area Ren Fair?
It is kind of like that. You have to buy the land for it.
Oh.
So it is kind of like saying, hey, buy a house in the city, and you have to pay taxes and utilities and insurance, and you have to get a deed for a house, and if it needs a new roof, you got to put a new roof on it, and it's like buying a whole other house, and you have to have workers who are there the whole time. Sometimes they'll go for 2 or 3 months, and it's hard to commit to being there for that long a time if you don't live there. Kansas City for us is easy because I have a studio there and we have family who live there, and we did buy a house there. We bought Nene Thomas, a lot of you might know her fairy artwork, and we bought her house from her, and that was really kind of fun, and it took us years to get the house ready to open at the Ren Fair. So
Yeah,
it's not the
Nene's
sort of
pretty
thing
cool.
you just show up on a weekend. It's not like doing a convention or something. It's more like buying a restaurant or something, and it's very complicated. But we are thinking that maybe in the future we might try to do maybe the Bay Area Ren Fair here in Tampa. We'll see. It is owned by the same people who own the Kansas City
We have some
Renaissance
friends that
Festival,
do
and
it.
we have some friends who do that one.
Deanna.
Deanna DeVolle, if you know her, she's awesome. She's there.
I think Heather met her maybe. Because Heather's asked
Oh,
me
she
about
might
that.
have done, yeah.
Heather, do you know Deanna?
She might know her from MegaCon. Deanna DeVolle. I always think
Deanna's
of people
cool.
I know, and I always assume they know each other, and I'm like, oh,
The
wait,
art
you
world
probably
is
never
pretty
met.
tight.
The art world is a small world sometimes.
Particularly
but,
fantasy
yeah.
art. And then
But
Heather thinks
Oh, okay. I have in Florida, I have done the Sarasota Medieval Fair. which
Heather, I think your
used
stuff
to
would.
be-
I think Heather's stuff would do great at a Ren.
Oh, I think so too. Especially
The
that you're
fantasy
here
art.
in Florida.
How
Heather,
would you
should-
describe Deanna's art?
Deanna, she does traditional fine art for the most part. She does a lot of pencil art, and it kind of combines high fantasy with some traditional modern elements. It's like she'll have a kind of old-timey fairy painting, but she'll have headphones on, like she's rocking out to her iPod or something. So it's kind of a combination of things that are contemporary and old-timey,
put up a link.
and then Victorian things. And
She's our friend.
Deanna's awesome. We've known her for years, and she's always at the Bay Area Ren Fair. And that one happens, since it's in Florida, they do it like January and February-ish, I think. Usually Ren fairs try to have it at a time of the year that it's
Carrie,
kind
introduce
of mild.
them.
Oh, okay, hey, there you go, yeah. But I have been at the Sarasota Medieval Fair. I've been there as a guest before because they have a tent that isn't a building you have to buy and, you know, spend $80,000 on and all that. But if you have a tent, and sometimes they invite guests there, and
these are nice tents.
those are nice tents. So I try to do those when I can, but sometimes there are a lot of rules and regulations when you're setting up at a place of business that is designated as a commercial zone, whether or not you own the property. Then you have to insure it, then you have to pay the utilities, and you got to pay taxes, and it gets to be a weird thing. So Ren fairs are very hard to get to if you don't live there or have family who live there.
Tawny says hi.
Hey, Tommy.
Tawny Fritz.
Oh, Tawny. I think you said Tommy. I know Tawny. Shoot.
Hey, Tawny, what's up?
She probably knows all about Ren fairs. We know her from One Fantastic Workshop.
Heather knows her then?
Yes, Heather would know her too. Tawny is kind of like the fixer for the One Fantastic Workshop.
Tawny can, she could wrestle down a rhino if she needed to. She
yes.
wouldn't though.
Yeah, I mean, there was
but she has the ability.
The police came one time and Tawny kind of got the bad guys and caught them for the police. And
yeah, I gave it a nickname. Her move. It's like the New Orleans headlock.
Yeah,
it was something like that. I forget.
Yeah, it was kind of a neat vigilante sort of thing that you'll probably see on Forensic Files someday. It's impressive. She's an amazing person and a very good artist too.
And she's funny.
Tawny Fritz, TAWNYFRITZ, I think.
Yeah, we know.
She is
awesome. Talented people, and yes. Tawny's up there with.
Yeah, and very fun to talk to.
You're very welcome, Tawny. She says thanks.
And she also really likes true crime, so I hope she enjoys the Forensic Files reference.
Heather has a steak in her mouth, no judgment.
Oh, they saying that she's not a vegetarian.
You didn't need to tell me.
Hey, I used to work at Dairy Queen. I made hamburgers for people all the time.
Forensic Files is her jam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we love Forensic Files too.
Forensic
Files is good because it's short and sweet. If Jasmine and I only have like 20 minutes, we can pop it on, like I can find it on the DVR thing.
We're the sort of people who have one meal a day and it's going to be our only TV watching time, so something like Forensic Files is perfect.
Yep. So we watch our Forensic Files and then boom.
The thing I like about true crime shows, the writing can't be bad because it actually happened. It's like,
but then it seems like the writing is bad.
But then it does seem, and like, oh my god, that dialogue is awful, and you're like, oh, that was real people.
Oh, I love it when there's bad written actors.
No,
that's the best time ever.
Yeah, no, I really dig that. Because, you know, it's a true story, so you can't really complain
mermaid,
about
how's it going?
Hello, mermaid. A mermaid?
A mermaid.
Aww.
We have 2 minutes till the raffle.
Well, I'm taking some of the dark part that I outlined on the scales of the little dragon here, and I'm putting it underneath the highlights of the turquoise part of her hair, because when I look at this on the whole, I think it looks like the blue front of her hair is like the brightest part of the painting. I don't want that to stand out like a sore thumb. I'll show you the statue she is based on real quick, which is why I decided to make these hair color choices. There she is. This is the same character in a different pose, basically. She has a dragon in my painting. She has a little raven in this one. Her name's Princess of the Night. And this is one of my statues you can get from the Bradford Exchange. My very large, complicated statues. If you look at the amount of work that goes into it, it's kind of crazy. They even do like the backside of it, and they do like the quilting of the coffin, and they do little fancy jewels in the skulls.
Cozy little coffin.
Yeah.
It's a cozy little coffin.
It is. That was a real coffin. Who knows how much that would cost? I know they always charge a whole lot more because people are sad and they can get money from them.
It is time for the final raffle.
Oh, this is for Jack.
Yep. You want to show that again?
I'll show again. This is my official Jack Skellington fairy. I did it with Tim Burton, the Walt Disney Company, and the Bradford Exchange. So it's one of my fairies cosplaying Jack, officially licensed by Tim Burton, Nightmare Before Christmas. And she's got a little Jack doll, and I have signed it here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, I wrote my name really tiny with a little Sharpie. And this is number 3051, and this is getting close to being sold out. Who won?
Critter 526.
Critter 526. So you have won this wonderful Jack Skeleton fairy here, and
I'll get a hold of you one way or another.
Yes. And were you able to contact the people who had won last time?
Yes, I got a hold of them this time. So
Both
we're good. Yeah, one said they had sent an email.
Okay.
I double checked.
Excellent.
Or they resent it.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
we're
sometimes
good.
things go in spam.
Yeah, it must have.
We
because
do
I
our
didn't see
best,
it.
but I'm gonna show.
Righty. So we're heading out. Or did you want to show us?
Oh, I was just gonna show the other ones for
please
the
do.
people who are asking about the Nightmare Before Christmas sculptures, because I think a lot of people have seen I did the artwork for Disney for the, obviously, the t-shirts and the mugs and all things like that. But for the past couple years, I've been doing a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas sculptures with the Bradford Exchange. And this little poster thing, I just got this in the mail. It wasn't like this is something I made. I got this from Bradford Exchange, and it shows all the different figurines. They're all they're basically my characters that have been licensed by Tim Burton and by Disney to dress up as the different characters. So we've got Jack, got Sally, got Zero, Oogie Boogie, and then everybody else. I think we've done 16 total. And they have different little shelves that you can set them on. And you can get these online from, if you live overseas outside America, you can get them from Burning Desires online. Matt's probably posted the link, I'm sure.
I did.
Otherwise, you can go to hamiltoncollection.com or bradfordexchange.com, and all the Nightmare Before Christmas characters, even the more ancillary ones you would not think. It's like, oh, do you have one for the mayor? Yes, I have one for the mayor, and I have designed a fairy based on that one. So it's kind of a
about ACOs. I'm going to share that link again.
Oh yes, and I'll show you those real quick. Oh,
Got 'em?
yeah, I got them. But yeah, these are the ones I was painting last week,
I'll
right?
put up the link.
Last Thursday. So I put them in a little plastic holder just to keep them safe. So if I have paint on my hands, I won't.
Night John Boy says
Nice.
Tammy time. I love the Waltons.
I don't know the Waltons except for Matt. So these are all our friends that are the ACEOs. Good night. 7 in the morning. There's Mermaid with Roses, and Ninja Dragonlings, and my possum, my lovely possum. Aw. Anyways, those are all up on eBay, and we started them at a penny, and y'all can decide the price on those. I only make one of each one, and I do little fancy details and paint each one. So we will be back here next Thursday. In the meantime, we'll see you day after tomorrow if you are at the Ren Fair in Kansas City.
Yes, we'd love to see you there.
Yay, come to the
It
Ren
should be
Fair.
nice and cozy and good.
It should be good weather, so we'll see. Oh,
We're
it's
about
getting
to get some
stormy
bad
out now. I was
weather
gonna
here.
say we're gonna get some thunderstorms. So thank you, and we'll see you next Thursday.
All right, bye.